It is 6:01. Good morning. I'm Jonathan Schaefer from the Superbook.com sports desk. The San Francisco 49ers rode a sensational Deebo Samuel touchdown and a pick six to a 24-9 win over the LA Rams, their seventh straight win over their divisional rival.
Stafford going to throw out right, intercepted and coming back the other way. Talanoa Hufanga, touchdown!
All right, dude, we get it. Nick Bosa had two of San Francisco's 7 sacks against Matthew Stafford. Both teams now 2-2. After sweeping the Mets over the weekend, the Braves fell to the Marlins 4-0. Meanwhile, the Nats-Mets game was rained out, causing a doubleheader today. The Braves still have a game-and-a-half lead over the Mets in the NL East. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and the Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Tuesday edition off and running of Ramon and Will, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors on 104.5 The Zone. One of the 2 nights of the week without football, and we learned that the Super Bowl champions kind of suck.
Wow.
Last night on Monday Night Football.
Dang.
Our preview of Tennessee and LSU continues as we take a deeper dive into the college football weekend. Will Bowling, Ramon Foster, Jonathan Schaefer, many are calling him the best producer in the world.
The best producer in the world.
Not me, but many.
Many are.
Good morning, Ramon.
Good morning, Will.
Shave, how are we?
Feeling like the best producer in the world.
Oh.
You know what? You shouldn't have asked.
If I was any better, I'd be Jonathan Schaefer.
You know what? Or hitting the lotto.
Dude, the struggle's real.
Is it really?
Very much so.
That's why I brought you a coffee this morning, man.
I appreciate
Good
it.
man.
You're a good man. Good man. Every once in a while, I do a good deed.
You got to sprinkle them in there. That way
Yeah.
the bad ones are just
And the surprise is there.
are not the norm. That's
yeah,
right.
the surprise is there.
Already did your good deed for the month, bro. Knock that out early.
Man, you know what? Every once in a while, you get done early, then you lay back and relax.
That's right.
Kind of like the way the Rams looked a little bit last night. But
Rams are bad at football.
They
So are like 26 teams in the
I
NFL.
saw
And
that.
I bet on them like an idiot.
Well, that's why he's mad, Shay. Now we get to the bottom
makes sense.
of it. You had it. Yeah, it's money.
It was very much a don't overthink this. The Rams are better than the 49ers. Yes, they've lost to them 6 times in a row in the regular season, but this time, since you are putting your hard-earned dollars on it, it's going to work out. Nope. It was like, I don't overthink this, and then I should have overthought it, which is words I don't often say in my life because I typically just do overthink it.
Almost in any case, I'm starting to learn this as I grow up to be an adult. Okay, yes, I'm already an adult, but I'm growing up to be an adult. Most times, listen, I used to think it was cliches, like in crimes and like movie crimes, right, Shafe? But they tell you every single time, follow the money. Follow the money. And now Will comes in angry.
Well, I did follow the money. That was the problem.
You're ticked off.
Actually, in betting, you're better off not following the money.
That's
You're
right.
fading against the
My
public.
issue was
That's his issue right there, Shay. Following the money.
So who should I follow your advice or the world's advice?
Look, don't follow mine. Okay,
Don't
I go
follow
off
the
of
world's advice.
I
Don't
go
do
off a field thing. Okay, Mom, how you feel about this week? Listen, don't take what I say serious. Okay, this is how I feel about anybody asks me betting advice, Shay. Listeners, I'm usually like, this is how I feel this week. I always feel like the Vols have a really good shot against Georgia. That's just me, though, okay?
8-2.
We were close to Georgia for a little while till they botched it.
No, I understand. I'm just
Were
saying when you once said under Jeremy Pruitt they'd go 8-2.
Well, Babs also said, listen, I got to throw somebody else under the bus. Here's my deflection.
At least you're admitting it's a deflection.
There it is.
Yes. Babs, shout out to you. As I see your poster in the studio this morning. She said Auburn was going 9-3. Hey, she had her burnt orange lenses on too, did she not?
It happens.
Right, but she's not on this show. You're on this show, so I can bust your balls.
That's why I get clowned, huh? All right, I'm bringing my participation
As you should.
trophy in soon. But look, follow the money.
participation
Will.
trophy.
Surprised you didn't get the bucket in the water already.
But what I'm saying is
If it was
this.
me, you would have.
Don't ask me betting advice, good people. I'm going to tell you how I feel, not what Vegas is telling you. So people have won. Shout out to Wes. People have won money because of what I told them. It's like, Mo, you were right. Okay? Other times, well, look, what you listen to me for? That's what I tell them. That's what gambling is. You're gambling on losing your money. So, hey, it's part of it. Or winning.
It's unfortunate.
But like you last night, Will, you mad at the wrong team.
Thank you. It was a big whammy. Big whammy.
You should be mad at yourself.
24-9, the final score for the 49ers last night. Deebo Samuel was terrific. It's just weird how bad Sean McVay and the Rams are in San Francisco.
Yeah.
They're really bad. They are now 3-11-1 in road games against the 49ers since 2008. That goes back way before Sean McVay, obviously. That goes back to the St. Louis Rams era.
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine that Coach Dave McGinnis was a part of some of those games.
Probably so. I was telling you a second ago, like, man, like playing at what used to be Candlestick, what's the name, Levi Stadium, 49ers are a tough outfit. I don't know what it is about going to Santa Clara, man.
Well, and I was going to say...
Santa Clara or Santa Monica?
It's Santa Clara.
Santa Clara.
It's more like Palo Alto, honestly.
I don't care what it looked like. Inside of that stadium, we were in it when the lights went off one time, too, and they proceeded to kick our, you know what, man. Listen to me. Smith, they're one of their D linemen. God, what was his name? It wasn't Josh Smith.
Alden Smith?
No, not Alden. Well, I saw Alden Smith. Listen to me. They had a Smith brothers, too. I saw Alden Smith the year before he got suspended again lift a 300 at time, 370-pound offensive tackle off his legs, okay, and flatline him. Like, when you talk about, like, what that guy should have and could have been, like, he one-handed my guy. I was like, oh, my God. But they have always just had a really good defense. That's one place it's tough to play at, Will. So I get you. So if you'd have asked me yesterday, Ramon, how do you feel about this Rams and 49ers game? First thing I'd ask you, what are you playing at? It's tough there because their fans actually care. Unlike the LA fans with the Rams, like they go for a show. Those fans go to cuss you out and have that stadium smelling funky because of a green they smoked there.
The thing that I will push back on is that
it's legal in California.
I'm just gonna keep going.
It's legal in California, man. That's all I'm saying.
It feels like the 49ers kind of sold their soul a little bit moving away from Candlestick. Like that stadium doesn't
that
really.
stadium was bad,
there's
though.
not as much personality to those games. Like I just feel like California NFL football is just so sleepy.
No.
Yeah.
No, absolutely
Because
not.
Rams games, they don't have fans. Chargers, no one's really a Chargers fan in Los Angeles. So because of the way SoFi is, and people just go as road fans to take over, and they just go to see the stadium and not really the game. Like I feel like it's just kind of a sleepy atmosphere.
Here's the truth: pro games in LA is when USC is good.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
So
for real.
I
That's a pro game.
unfairly applied that to the team that plays in Santa Clara that is called San Francisco.
Now listen to me.
That stadium is not close to San Francisco at all.
Don't matter, Will.
At all.
We should take a road trip there. I would love to go back out there 100%. Like
I went there to see a soccer game in 2016.
I think they got a really good environment. That environment is really good, Will. Like legitimately, like
surprising.
We should do something there, man. Like I know it's during football season. That's super tough. As I'm wishing we could go out there.
Yeah, I know.
But we got to find a way to go to a 49ers game or somehow, some way. I think that'd be super dope. I think you would appreciate it more. I did. I think I hadn't actually gone to a game in LA. Well, we did, but it was whenever the Chargers were transitioned from San Diego. We were playing in that soccer stadium.
Oh yeah.
And
speaking of sleepy environments in California.
Well, I'll say this though. Anytime we went to San Diego, which I'll say this, they also have one of the biggest like Steeler followings there too.
Oh, really?
So like the crowd, like it would be legitimately like packed out when Vic was starting shape. I'm sure you watched it when Vic ended up playing and Le'Veon won like on the last second touchdown.
Yeah,
that stadium was rocking.
Huh?
They did hate us though because 80% of the crowd was Steeler fans though. Well, look at last year with the Titans when they played the Rams. Like, it was a huge presence of Titans fans there.
It really was. That was as big as I've sseen of a Titans contingent at a road game.
Yeah.
It's been big in Indianapolis the past couple of years, too. I did that trip as a fan last year. And there were a ton of Titans fans there. I don't know what it was like this year comparatively, but I know on Titans Talkback, we had 2 different callers coming from Lucas Oil within like 10 minutes of that show starting on Sunday. So I think there was a pretty big Titans contingent in Indy again.
I bet it was.
Weekend.
Well, that's because Irsay wanted everybody to fill it up. So guess what's going to happen? Well, people are going to come buy tickets for that.
He said code blue, and Titans fans perked up and said, wait, what?
Say what? Code blue?
That's right.
Exactly.
I remember the first code blue game, Jonathan Schaefer, against Peyton Manning and the Indianapolis Colts. The what does Rhett Bryan call them again? The team that was in the code blue game. I can't remember what.
The Indianapolis Colts.
Oh, that's right. Thanks.
Indianapolis Colts.
I remember that first code blue game very well. Titans got killed.
Yeah,
but it was a great atmosphere.
So that's a thing that the Colts do is code blue.
I don't know if they call it code blue, but
Jim
they did a blue.
Irsay should do anything that's code blue.
All right, and on that note, coming up on today's show, we talk with Dylan Cole, our replay of our conversation with him this morning at 6:20. Top 7 and bottom 3 in the NFL. Look, again, there are like 3 elite teams, and then everyone else.
They keep moving.
And then there's like 2 bad teams.
Yeah. Who are the bad teams right now? Well, Texans.
So Carolina and everyone else.
Carolina, they want Baker gone.
Steelers might be one of
Hey,
them.
man.
I thought about it.
We're there.
I thought about it. I thought about putting Steelers 30, but
you know what? Don't reserve your judgment because of me, Will. Do what you want to do this morning, man.
I mean,
if they're bottom 3,
I almost did.
Call them bottom 3, Will.
Almost did.
they might be at number 30.
What?
They might be. Your record says
your
who
voice.
you are.
All I'm saying is ever since somebody that wore 73 retired, man, it's just gone downhill.
It's gone downhill.
It's gone downhill.
Wow.
I choose violence.
I do choose violence. Damn it. Let's
And
go.
when you won the SEC East,
Let's go.
the year later, a different offensive
what I'm
coordinator was
saying?
brought in, and it was downhill from there.
Clausen finally get Babs off that narcotic.
You know what?
with
He
Dave
finally
Clausen's,
became
man.
a true radio professional because he made everything about him. That was great.
You know what? You call me the senator then, okay?
Anyway, weekdays from 10 to 1 on 104.5 The Zone. Josh Ward of
You
Sports.
know what I'm going to tell you, Ramon?
What?
Suck it.
If this is the way we're going
Hey,
today,
should I grab the mop?
This is the way we go every day. My workout
Ramon,
is, my veins are still just
Should I
pumping
grab
from
the
this
mop
workout.
or the bucket? Which one do you want me to get?
Grab the damn bucket. Get the bucket, okay? Let's go. And by the way, I don't know what this surprise is, but you jagaloons have not told me
I'm
anything.
getting there. I'm teasing the whole show.
No, somebody
Because I
asked
am
me.
also a radio professional.
No, well,
Who's to say? We'll see after today.
Actually, we can.
Josh Ward of Sports Radio, WNML at 720. Emily Proud of CBS Sports at 247. Our first conversation with her and her new gig at 820. Ron Slay, you know him. You love him. He'll be here at 920. And then an announcement at 945. Ramon's still trying to figure out what that is.
yeah, y'all some chumps for not including
He's
me
not
in
happy
on the
about
inside
it.
joke. No, I'm not okay with this.
Not happy about it. Coming up, though, Hollywood Cole. Dylan Cole talks with us, and we begin to break down the top 7 of the bottom 3 within the National Football League. Going to be a fun show. Hang out with us on 104.5 The Zone TV, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook Live, or Twitter. We will talk with you there, and we will talk to you coming up next on 104.5 The Zone.
It's Ramon Foster, and I'm here on behalf of my PhD weight loss. And I got to be honest with y'all, man. I told a lie yesterday. I told y'all I was down like 7-8 pounds. That was a lie. I'm down 10. Ha ha! Reggae horn shape. At some point, though, okay? But I'm here to tell you, this is my first time actually having a diet plan. Even throughout all the years I was playing, like I just worked the weight off. And what I found out with talking to my PhD medical and Dr. Ashley Lucas was this. Well, guess what, Ramon? You got to actually have a plan. You got to have fuel inside your body. I thought I was eating enough. By the way, I was eating enough. It was just bad food. What they did was they took my cravings away. They have me in a position to where I know when I'm going to eat. I know what I'm going to eat. There's always an option for me, and it has been beneficial. For the most part, standard PhD male clients, they lose 3 to 5 pounds per week. I'm also working out, so that's why I had a little bit more. For the female clients, just 2 to 3 pounds per week. And guess what? It has been an awesome walk for me. My body has been feeling better. I've been lifting more in the mornings and not feeling sore. A lot of the inflammation because of what I'm putting in, the fuel that I'm using, it's been really good for me. So I'm advising you all, if you all are trying to get to that point to where you're trying to beat that weight before the holiday season, go to myphdweightloss.com. I promise you, you will not regret it. There are no cravings. There is no, hey, I wish I would have. I'll say this, don't wish this time next year that you had started. Go to myphdweightloss.com and start on this journey that me and Buck are on ourselves. Again, myphdweightloss.com.
And here comes a stoppage in play because someone has run on the field with a smoke bomb that is pink, and he's running up the sideline. Now a couple of Rams come over there and make the tackle. Head first, and he's in a cloud of pink smoke so you can't see him, and now on him are a couple of security guards. That guy is headed to the slammer, and it will not be a good night.
Highlight of the game last night, if you are an LA Rams fan, because it was the best tackle Bobby Wagner made the whole game. It's Ramona Will, powered by All Four Seasons on 104.5 The Zone. Kevin Harlan on the call last night for Westwood One's coverage of Monday Night Football. Will Bowling, Ramon Foster, Jonathan Schaefer with you. I know that Schaefer was very excited the second he saw someone running on the field of what that call might have sounded
Yes,
like.
because what I looked up first is Kevin Harlan doing Monday Night Football? When I found out he was, I went, I am literally getting out of bed to make sure we have this for the morning.
No doubt.
It's the best.
Man. He is the best. That was good, though. I appreciated that one.
He honestly really is, like, I think probably a top 2 or 3 play-by-play broadcaster in football. Right?
Yeah, no, that was phenomenal, man. What a hit, though.
Somebody said, I think it was The Zone that tweeted out. It wasn't me from The Zone account. It was The Zone that tweeted out, nobody cares about your gender reveal in San Francisco. It's pretty funny. It's like, okay,
that was pretty
that's
solid
kind of funny.
right there. Yeah, that was good, man.
So we go back to our conversation with Titans inside linebacker Dylan Cole yesterday, and it's good talking with him yesterday. And I think Titans fans were excited because he did a little bit of a job on Sunday in Indianapolis and brought a level of physicality and toughness at the inside linebacker position against the run that hasn't been there the first couple of weeks of the season. So good conversation with Titans inside linebacker Dylan Cole, who sits down with us talking about King Henry, talking about what's next for him as he continues to fight for a starting role. Here it is.
I just got to ask you, man, first and foremost, coming from where you come from last year, signing later in the season to where you are yesterday as a starter, man, what has that journey been like?
Man, it's a roller coaster. Got signed late last year, like you said, practice squad, then got cut, and then got signed back. I think the same week, honestly. I think I had 4 days off, and then I was back, and then within the rest of the season, and luckily got called and signed this year. It's been a roller coaster, but I love Tennessee. I love the culture here, and it's a great fit for me, and I'm enjoying it for sure, especially with all these wins coming through now.
No doubt.
Dylan, when did you know that you were going to get the start yesterday, and what was that conversation like with the coaching staff when you were told that you were going to be able to play so much along with David Long?
Yeah, I talked to Bobby King Friday, a little bit on Saturday. He let me know that I was going to get the start. Just told me he had plenty of confidence in me, and we had a great week of practice, and that when I get my opportunity, it's just time to take advantage of it. He's got plenty of confidence in me, and that helped me, to know if someone's got confidence in me, then it gives me confidence and to go out and play play freely.
The way you were playing yesterday, man, it looked like you were grabbing this opportunity by the neck, man, and not letting it go. Being on the road like that with that defense, with those guys you have up front in front of you, man, the way you were shooting the gap, what was going through your mind, man, with this opportunity in front of you? And I'm sure you called some family and said, watch me do work today.
Yeah, I think that's just the way I play. I try to play fast. I try to play aggressive. I don't try to hesitate. I just try to trust my instincts and, trust the guys up front. Those guys we got a great defensive line. It's easy to shoot those gaps when you can trust those defensive line to be in their gaps and do their job up front.
One thing that's for certain when you're an undrafted guy in this league, I was like that too, is that level of keeping that chip on your shoulder, man. Where has that been? Because Will, my co-host here, called out your pro day numbers. You had some really good numbers, and to still be overlooked, man. Where does that reside with you in a week-to-week, year-to-year basis along your career?
Yeah, it was definitely frustrating at the time. But at the end of the day, I just wanted to play football, and I got the chance. Luckily, got signed undrafted over there in Houston, just finding my niche wherever I'm at, and then building on that. Whatever the team wants me to do, that's what I'm going to do. Because at the end of the day, it's about playing football. That's what I want to do. I've been playing since I was 6, so I don't care what I got to do. If I'm on that field, that's all I want to do.
Titans linebacker Dylan Cole with us here this morning on Ramon and Will. Mike Vrabel was the defensive coordinator of that Houston team that signed you in 2017 to begin your NFL career. What's your relationship like with him? How much have you kind of grown in just friendship, and I guess really just from a player-coach perspective and getting to know him since he came in the league in 2017?
Yeah, Vrabes is a great football mind. He let me know how much I didn't know when I got into the league. He knows it all, and it's a great opportunity for me to have when I got into the league. I think he helped me, especially my first 2 years. Just coming out, I played cover 2 and man, so it kind of looked like calculus to me coming into the league, and he helped me break it down. And actually, Shane Bowen was over there at the time too, and he helped me because he was just the assistant over there, and he helped me kind of underneath the table, help me when we didn't have like days off or after practice, before practice. So there's a lot of people that help me with my football, the IQ part of it, and the effort. That just comes naturally. So you put a little effort with a little IQ, it can take you places.
Yesterday's game, man, looking back on it, you guys go up 24 points in the first half, and there's a level of, hey, don't let this slip away when it comes to the defensive side of it and offensive side. But specifically on the defensive side of the ball, where you're the play caller over there for them, man, what's the mindset of closing out the game on the road like that against the Colts and, kind of not fumbling the ball at the end?
Yeah, I think the mindset's from the start to the finish, it should be always the same. 3-and-out takeaway. Just get the ball back to the offense. Don't let them score. If they don't score, we'll probably win the game. So it's always 0-0, and just don't let them score. 3-and-out takeaway. Get the ball back to our offense so that we can score points.
Yeah.
Titans linebacker Dylan Cole with us. Dylan, you hold the Colts to 38 rushing yards, their lowest amount as a team since 2015. 20 carries, 42 yards for Jonathan Taylor yesterday. How much pride do you take as a defense in stopping this dynamic rushing attack?
Yeah, we knew what they wanted to do going into the game, and that's kind of our mentality is we got to stop the run. That's the first thing that we want to do, stop that run. And that's what they want to do. We stop that, then they're going to have a hard time winning the game. So that's any game that you see us, the first thing we're going to try to do is stop that run.
Mm-hmm. And Dylan, it's the first time in a long time that the last 2 Triple Crown winners in the rushing attack have played each other, and Derrick Henry and Jonathan Taylor. Do you guys listen to that noise of people saying, Jonathan Taylor's the new rushing king of the NFL, the AFC South? Does that motivate you anymore to kind of help Derrick Henry kind of still be that guy in the AFC South?
No, the king is the king. You can't switch the crown. So that's just who he is. Jonathan Taylor's a great running back, and he's got all the tributes that you want. But Derrick Henry's that's Derrick Henry. So you can't really compare anybody to him. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we're trying to play football. We're trying to stop the other team, and Derrick Henry's going to do his thing.
You guys got out of the game yesterday with 1 interception. I call it a thick pick by Tierra Tart, okay? Was there any jealousy? Did he talk any crap to y'all about nobody got better hands than he has? Like, what was that conversation like as he tucked that ball going to the sideline?
Tierra was too tired to talk to anybody. I mean, he caught the ball. He did a little headstand for about 4 seconds, and then he had to run all the way to the end zone. So there was no way that Tierra. I think he needed to get on the oxygen thing. So he had no words for anybody.
That's awesome. D linemen and offensive linemen don't let you forget when they get an accolade, man. I just had to ask you that.
I'm sure we'll hear about it. We'll hear about it all week now. I start working on his back pedal.
Oh, I love it. Dylan, one more from me, man. I know you played a lot of special team snaps a season ago, 76% of the snaps in 2021. You get a good perspective on what Ryan Stonehouse has been able to do in flipping the field. How impressed have you been with him, the new guy kind of punting the football for you all, just as an ace in special teams? How impressed are you with the rookie punter?
Yeah, I'm really impressed with him. He's and that's one of those aspects that people don't really see in the game and really understand that flipping the field is huge, and just where your opponent starts to drive, that's huge. And him being able to hit those things. I mean, we got to run for a while on the punt team, so but it's great. There's a lot of opportunities for tackles out there. So, but yeah, and as a rookie, to have the composure to continue to be so consistent. That's hard to do, especially as a punter.
I think there's also, and this will be the last one for me, man, just the group of young guys that you have on this team kind of making plays. You're either young or new. You're yourself. You got Roger McCreary making plays, man. You got guys like Christian Fulton, who's a young guy. Tierra's still a young guy. And just in general, watching them do work, man, you guys, Rashad also, what has that been like to watch this young guy group just be a part of this team's ability to win games?
Yeah, they're an important piece of the team. There's a lot of guys with a lot of talent, and they're going to keep growing throughout the season. So just look for all of them to just continue to make more plays, get more comfortable and confident in the scheme. And I think that's what we're trying to preach, especially as the older guys, just to keep giving them the confidence that they need to continue to do what they're doing, and then continue to improve. Because if they improve, our team improves it drastically.
I lied. I got one more, man. You get in this starting position, and not just that, but y'all won a game. So it means a little bit more. You prove to yourself that, look, I can play in this league. I can start in this league, as according to what you did yesterday. At what level of not going to the backup role are you at right now? Whether Zach comes back, and I know Zach is the guy, but what's your mindset moving forward?
My mindset's the same every week. I'm prepared like I'm a starter. But like I said before, I'm going to find my niche, and whatever that is for the coaches, whatever they see, that's what I'm going to do. Because at the end of the day, I want to play football. So if they want me to play, 100% of the special team snaps and just wait to play linebacker, okay, that's fine. But if they want to I'm just going to continue to, when I get on the field, take advantage of my opportunity. And if that's special teams and a few snaps on defense, that is. If that's starting, great. That's what I'm going to do. But we're always fighting for playing time. That's part of the journey. But we're trying to win, and I'm going to trust the coaches. The coaches need to trust me, and whatever they have me do, that's what I'm going to do. Because, like I said, at the end of the day, I just want to play football.
So there he is, Titans inside linebacker Dylan Cole.
I wanted to ask him that last question because being in that position that he's in, man, being on the journey that he's coming from, to get a start. And there's one thing to start, and then you lose. You're like, man, well, maybe I ain't good enough. But they won, and they won well, and he played a real huge part in that yesterday, too. He led the team in tackles. So just to hear him, kind of just voice out, well, yeah, whatever role they want me to play in, but in the back of his mind, well, you love to be out there on the open the snap. You know what I'm saying? And he's a linebacker. They're usually high-strung like that, too. So I just kind of wanted to hear his answer and where he stood on not going to the backup role anymore, It was a good conversation, and the balance of Dylan Cole and Joe Schobert ended up giving you the production of one really good inside linebacker. Yeah.
Those two guys together, I think, complemented each other pretty well. Plus, watching back the film, Ramon, they played a lot of dime on third downs just to get an extra defensive back on the field and only keep David Long as the one linebacker on the field, too.
Man, I want to see, hopefully this, honestly, I think what we're all looking for from this is to light a fire under Zach Cunningham. Like the level in which we expect you to play, like let's kind of get there, my brother, because I know you can play. It's a matter of, I don't know if it's health will, I don't know if it's scheming for him or whatever the case may be, but like what we saw from Dylan Cole and Schobert and David Long Jr., man, is kind of what we want to see in Zach Cunningham as a whole. So, hey, sometimes guys walking into your position kind of push you a little bit. And maybe that's the push that he kind of needs.
No doubt. So good conversation with him. And Ramon, when we come back, top 7 and bottom 3 was tough this week again.
It was.
I feel like this might have been the toughest week of doing this exercise of the best and the worst in the NFL. Was the best or the worst more difficult for you?
I think the best was.
Really?
Yeah, the best was kind of hard to kind of pick from because I was like, am I okay with putting them here?
I feel like there are 10 teams that could fit in the last 3 or 4 spots.
Yeah.
In the league right now. There are a lot of teams that have like redeeming factors, but just haven't put it together. I think that the Raiders is one of those teams, honestly.
And there's so many 2-2 teams, too.
Right. Raiders, by the way, not on the bubble of being in the top 7. But like I just thinking of teams like the Raiders, Chargers, honestly, all of the AFC West, not named Kansas City, like has a redeeming factor to it, but it's not quite good enough to be in this conversation.
Right.
Other than Kansas City, obviously. We do that when we come back. We start off with the bottom 3. We go to the top 7 teams for the 3 of us in the National Football League. We welcome your phone calls as well. 615-737-1045. It's Ramona Will, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors, 1045 The Zone.
Summer's over, but that joint pain is still there, and it's time to do something about it. Hey, it's Ramon Foster. I want you to call QC Kinetics now. You put it off long enough, and it's time to get real lasting relief from chronic pain in your knees and back and shoulders and hips. QC Kinetics can get you moving again with cutting-edge regenerative treatments with no drugs, no downtime, and no surgery. Regenerative medicine uses highly concentrated healing properties from your own body to restore and repair damaged joint tissue. And QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in this exciting breakthrough natural approach to eliminating joint pain. Lots of people here have already done this, and they are living life to the fullest, pain-free. So don't assume the old ways of dealing with joint pain are the only ways. Call QC Kinetics today. Stop putting it off. Call now for a free consultation at 615-249-4024. Again, 615-249-4024.
Join 104.5 The Zone as we broadcast live from Scoreboard Bar and Grill coming up this Friday for our kickoff to football party. Stop by as we officially kick off the football weekend at Scoreboard Bar and Grill. While you're there, you can sign up to beat Bucks Picks of the Week for your chance to win tickets and prizes from Scoreboard Bar and Grill. For more info, 1045thezone.com/events.
It's Ramona Will, powered by all four seasons of 104.5 The Zone. Ramon Foster, Will Bowling, Jonathan Schaefer with you. Taking our bottom three first before we get to the top 7 teams for each of us within the National Football League.
Yeah.
You can join us on the phone lines at 615-737-1045. Gentlemen, the number 30 team in the National Football League is...
Pains me, man. It pains me. It's the Steelers.
Oh, no.
It pains me.
Ramon putting them in there, too.
Yeah.
I put him in number 30.
I'm the only one that didn't have the Steelers in the bottom 3.
Sometimes we just do, Will.
And I'm the one that has the disdain for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, I know you do. I put them there because offensively, got nothing. Defensively, can't stop a nosebleed. They switch quarterbacks, so that really puts them in that same conversations. Like, come on. All right, we know where you are right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
That offense is dreadful.
That's dreadful.
Horrible.
Oh.
Even though I don't think the O-line's been all that bad.
They've
which was
actually
supposed to be one of their biggest weaknesses.
supposed to be one of their biggest weaknesses. Guess who talked to them?
Oh, you're going to make that about you too, huh?
Safe.
Oh.
They're not here to dispute this, okay?
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, because you didn't talk to him.
Number
talked to a
30
few
for
of
me.
Yes, you did.
I'm gonna switch these on the spot because I had these wrong. Number 30, I'm gonna go with the Houston Texans.
Oh, not bottom?
No, I don't think the Texans are that horrible.
Okay.
I'm a Mills Mafia truther,
Okay.
Davis Mills truther. I'm a member of the Mills Mafia.
A truther.
Dameon Pierce is good, man. 77 rushing yards over expected for him in this game, most by a Texans running back since Lamar Miller in 2018. I think they're okay, but they still have a lot to figure out. Lovie Smith, the entire operation there, I've got them 30th.
Okay.
31.
31 for me. I got Cardinals.
Oh, wow.
Whoa, the
No.
Cardinals?
The Cardinals.
That doesn't make any sense.
No, my bad. I read my writing wrong. Carolina. My
Oh,
bad.
okay.
Carolina.
Your transcript is
Carolina.
iffy.
Yeah, that was my writing is iffy. Transcript is good. I got my degree hanging up on my wall.
That is a demerit.
Your degree in football.
Still good on resumes. Still good. Hey, matter of fact, I ain't gonna. I ain't gonna
Hey,
go
let's
that
have a little
way.
bit of fun with this. I remember
Yeah.
when you first started the show, you're like, this is my first real job.
It is. I was gonna say I don't need this now. Let me stop.
Goodness
I
sakes.
can't.
That's happened a few times.
University of Tennessee diploma. Don't knock it.
Hey, be cool,
Not
man.
knocking the diploma, I'm knocking
Yeah.
hers.
See, now y'all send the bots to the chat. Oh, they're gone now.
No, they're there. Why?
I blocked mine.
I didn't even say anything.
Blocked mine.
Schaefer, who you have? Number 31 in the NFL.
Washington.
Okay.
They're bad.
I also have Washington
Okay.
as my number 31 team. Commanders surrendered 9 sacks going into last weekend in one game. And then they face a good pass rush in Dallas. They weren't terrible on the offensive line. We'll get to scout meeting Wednesday tomorrow
Yeah, we will.
as we preview a little bit of what's to come from them and what's good and what's not good. But they did still allow 19 quarterback pressures in this game. But their running backs at 137 yards on the ground against the Dallas Cowboys. They lose to Cooper Rush, helping Cooper Rush become the first ever Dallas Cowboys quarterback to win his first 4 NFL starts. Is he the guy? Who's to say? Number 32.
I got Houston.
Okay.
The lack of wins, Will. Like, I know there's probably a worse team than them, and I like Davis Mills too, but the lack of wins just doesn't help the case right here. Like, no wins, you're 32.
I will say, guys, I'm shocked. I am the only one that has the Carolina Panthers 32nd. They are horrible.
I mean, they are.
They are putrid.
Yeah.
With Sunday's loss, the Panthers are now 1-26 under Matt Rule when the opponent scores at least 17 points. They have lost 24 games where their opponent scores 17 points. Baker Mayfield was only pressured on 18% of his dropbacks Sunday. He goes 15 of 27 for a touchdown and 2 picks when facing 4 or fewer pass rushers. I mean, they are bad. Baker Mayfield in this game, Ben McAdoo has been not great as the offensive coordinator filling in for Joe Brady. 26-16 loss to the Cardinals, who are to the first half what the Titans are to the second half. They get a pick six in this game, just like they did a week ago against New Orleans. But Baker Mayfield posted his worst passer rating of the season at 61.9. And that number came up with a late touchdown pass to Christian McCaffrey. How am I the only one with the Panthers last?
Well,
They weren't even on your list.
No, yeah, they were.
Oh, they were?
They were 31st.
Okay.
I had them 31st.
For some reason, I didn't hear.
Yeah,
hear
no,
you
that's
say.
because I said who did I say before then? I said Cardinals.
Yeah, they were basically
Remember?
29.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah, they're 31st in mine, and Houston's 32nd. You make a good point though, Will. I mean, they're cheeks too.
I would rather have Houston's quarterback situation than Carolina's. Like, fans are clamoring for Sam Darnold
I mean,
to start at quarterback for your team.
Baker's washed.
That's not great.
Yeah, Baker's washed right now, man. That's tough.
Gotta say, I expected better from Baker the first couple weeks. I expected him to be okay.
This is also one of the reasons why we were excited that he came to the AFC North.
Really?
Baker's super yeah, 100%. The Browns have done us favors for years. That roster's always been good.
Here we go.
They always get an idiot head coach. They always have bad run players. Quarterback always Johnny Manziel. Come on. Dude, we salivated at that.
Shafe, what has Ramon made it more about today? Himself or his hatred of other AFC North teams?
Actually, himself more today. It's usually hatred toward
Hey,
Cleveland.
well, when y'all don't put me in on whatever this secret is, then you doggone right. I got to find a way to carve out my own lane.
Maybe if you showed up to some work meetings, we wouldn't have this issue.
Oh, okay.
Well, you didn't want to show up to that work meeting because I parked in a parking lot a little down the street and I got a ticket.
Well, good.
Oh, that's right.
Good.
Got a $60 parking
That
ticket.
was kind of on you, though.
Yeah.
So
Bet
it was
won't
funny.
disappear
So that was one
like
where they
mine.
put. We just had like a lunch last week. Just we'll fill you in.
I told him, didn't I?
That's
I
right.
said there was parking right here. You live in this area and you didn't know there was free
So
parking.
basically, like we were going somewhere downtown, and I was like, there's no way there's parking there. I'm just gonna park in the first of one of these like park happy lots that I see.
what
My
y'all-
parking was anything but happy. It was park unhappy, and I did like the hour, and it was free. And so I have trouble giving a ticket for something that's already free. First of all, but B, it had like the time on the ticket when you
Yeah.
put it in your windshield, and it said 12:15 or something like that. And I got the ticket 10 minutes after that time, and I was
what
like,
you-
"Hey, somebody had way too much time on their hands."
That's what you get for having outside chats without me involved
That's
in them,
fine.
okay?
It's fine.
Whatever your little secret is, I hope it's worth it.
Secrets are no fun.
You still hadn't told me.
Secrets hurt everyone.
You should be better than this. You too, Shafe. I thought we were cooler than this.
Coming up next, hour 2 of the show, we go through our top 7 teams in the National Football League, and we chat with Josh Ward of Sports Radio WNML about keys for Tennessee's game against LSU, besides having 11 players on the field. Coming up next, it's Ramona Will, powered by all 4 seasons of 104.5 The Zone.
believe P. Ramon Foster.
Football season is here, and Lee Company is ready for games statewide. Hey, it's Jonathan Schaefer. Lee Company, a proud partner of the Tennessee Titans, and also locally supporting both Centennial and Ravenwood High School football teams and many others in the Nashville community. From the professional game to Friday Night Lights, community involvement is a Lee Company specialty. They take so much pride in it. It is at the heart of their mission. Check out Lee Company's home services and facility solutions at leecompany.com. You can also give them a call, 615-567-1000. Your community partner. That's Lee Company, 615-567-1000. Also online anytime at leecompany.com. Lee Company, all you need. It is 7:01. Good morning. I'm Jonathan Schaefer from the Superbook.com sports desk. The San Francisco 49ers rode a sensational Deebo Samuel touchdown and a pick six to a 24-9 win over the LA Rams, their seventh straight win over their divisional rival.
Shotgun snap from their own 43. Left tackle back and a leaping catch made on a quick throw at the 50 by Samuel. Broke a tackle 45, breaks a tackle 40. He's on the hash mark to 30. He's being chased as he comes to the near side 25. Broke a tackle at the 20. Sideline 10, 5, touchdown! What a run after the catch! Deebo Samuel.
Kevin Harlan, Westwood won, as it was heard right here on 104.5 The Zone. Nick Bosa had 2 of San Francisco's 7 sacks against Matthew Stafford. He was under the gun all night. Both teams are 2-2. After sweeping the Mets over the weekend, the Braves fell to the Marlins 4-0 yesterday. Meanwhile, the Nats-Mets game was rained out, causing a doubleheader today. The Braves still have a game-and-a-half lead over the Mets in the NL East. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once. On air over the Titans and Vols, this is 104.5 The Zone.
Hour number 2 of Ramona Will, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors of 104.5 The Zone. Brought to you live thanks to the best producer in the world, Jonathan Schaefer. Making the show happen, 11-year NFL veteran Ramon Foster. My name is Will Bowling. We've given you our bottom 3. Now we supply our top 7 in the National Football League before we talk with Sports Radio WNML's Josh Ward of Josh and Swain. We got one half of the show last week, then we get one half of the show this week.
I mean, that's what happens when you deal with family, man.
That's
you
right.
Get the good side of it. I'm okay with this, Will. It works.
So number 7 in the National Football League. For me, this was decided last night.
Oh, yeah?
This was an or situation, like a depth chart in college.
Okay, all right.
I had the Rams or Niners as 7, depending on who won.
Okay.
And I have given this to the San Francisco 49ers.
Oh, okay.
As my number 7 team in the NFL.
Fun fact, I have neither in my top 7.
Oh.
If you look at it last week, the Rams hit my number 7.
Yep,
and
same.
then a loss last night didn't do it for them.
Okay.
So I can't put either in. My number 17 is the Ravens.
Really?
Yeah, they dropped a couple spots. Tough loss, but I couldn't keep them at the same spot. And other teams have been elevated and playing a little bit better right now, too. Even if their opponents are weaker, they still have won more than what the Ravens did.
The Ravens are like the Nebraska football of the NFL. They're the best 2-2 team in football. Right?
They are. And there's nothing wrong with that. Lamar's dynamic. They've just run up against some real good teams so far, man. This playoffs, if it's who we think it's going to be,
they've also
should be good.
Blown 2 big leads.
Well, yeah, that's also.
And both of them at home.
One
That's
of
the
them
difficult part about it.
too. Yeah, the Miami and
because this
Bills.
team could be 4-0.
They could be.
Yeah.
Is it hardball?
And if they are, we'd have a number 1.
I
would probably.
You would?
Yeah. Shave?
I refuse to participate until we get to 3. And
wow.
Here's the reason.
Interesting.
I have no idea.
You can refuse to participate in things here?
I mean, I refuse to participate in the show most
Why
days.
did I come to work this morning?
Okay, one's a job. One's a
I was
bit.
about to say.
No,
I'm kidding.
In all
I'm
seriousness,
kidding.
I don't know where to rank these teams.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
I like Baltimore.
Yeah.
Kind of a cop out.
I don't know. It's completely a cop out. Dallas. I actually have San Francisco at number 7. To be in all seriousness,
There
but
you go.
4, 5, and 6. Dallas, Minnesota, Green Bay, Baltimore. Insert 2-2 team here. I have no idea.
I almost feel like I'm disrespecting Minnesota. I don't think.
I don't
of
think
them.
That's the thing, because
legit.
I don't think Green Bay is. I don't think Minnesota
I
is.
agree. I
I don't think Dallas is, because
well,
Dallas' 3 wins are against crap teams.
I know, but they're wins and they won.
And you're right.
convincingly.
So that's why I'm saying, in all seriousness, I'm doing
It's
this,
tough. Yeah.
as a bit of a gag.
Well, okay. Well,
but I really have no. If San Francisco had an offense, they'd be top 3, top 4.
Which is
Yeah,
crazy
facts.
considering they've got the most dynamic
Because that defense is
receiver in the
incredible.
league.
Because that defense is incredible.
It is
Yeah.
incredible. That's
But-
why I had to
but
say that.
I really have-
7 sacks last night for San Francisco against a banged-up LA offensive line, and the Rams only have 257 yards yesterday. D'Amico Ryans will be a head coach in this league next year.
There's no question.
And somebody is going to get, I think, a new and improved version of Mike Vrabel.
I hope he does. D'Amico's a heck of a player, number 1, but he's a really good defensive-minded guy too. But it's hard for teams to seem like now to hire defensive-minded coaches too, unless you go get the guru. offensively.
And Brandon Staley is an interesting case because he was a defensive mind. Yet when you think of him, you think of young quarterback like wonderkind.
Yeah.
Kind of situation. Number 6.
6 for me, Giants.
The Giants?
Just throwing some respect
Really?
on it. 3-1, Will.
Oh, wow.
3-1. They've won some good games. Like,
We've
it
got a lot
looks
of
ugly
disagreements this
again. Shafe made the point a second ago. Like, what, 4-6, Shafe? What is it?
I have no idea.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if I say the Giants, you can't just snarl at it and be like, what? Like,
I mean,
they legitimately are 3-1, Will.
I
They
guess.
came here and got a dub. Saquon is looking like Saquon. They're finding a way for Danny Dimes to pull out games with him, like, despite his deficiencies. Dubs are dubs in this league. Like, ugly or not, they're still
I
there.
guess.
But here's the thing. You're 100% right. And I think they're fraudulent.
Oh, yeah,
I think
Yeah.
both things are true.
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. I
There
got
are,
no
there are
pushback
2 and
on
2
it.
teams I like a lot better than 3 and 1
I know.
for them.
But how can we put like
Heck, I think them and the Raiders are about equal. Raiders are 1 and 3.
that's fair. Like, I got no pushback. That's fair.
Honestly.
That's fair.
Shafe, who do you have? I guess. Well, are you still not participating, or are you gonna?
I'm out to the third pick.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
6 for me is the Ravens. I think J.K. Dobbins' health for them makes a really big difference. They went away from him in the second half against Buffalo, and that was a big reason why they weren't able to hold on to that lead. Had 63 yards on 17 touches in the first half. Became the first player in Ravens history to score both a rushing and receiving touchdown in any one quarter for Baltimore. And then in the fourth quarter, had 2 touches, one for -3 and one for -4. So I guess for whatever reason, still easing him back in, but I don't know. That's an interesting case there. Number 5.
5 for me, Miami.
I also have Miami as
Okay.
5.
All right. It
Yep.
works.
But here's the problem. 2 is out.
Well, that's the reason they dropped last week. I had them at number 2.
Because I don't
I'm
think 2 is
dropping
going to
them
be
on
in
my
any
schedule.
time in the near future.
No, and you know what? Good.
Right. I'm fine
Idiots.
with that.
That's what they get for screwing up the concussion protocol.
Yep.
They will be out of the top 7, I feel like.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Number 4.
The boys, Cowboys.
The Cowboys.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know. Will,
Okay.
a win?
No, I'm with you.
If I were
I'm not
to have
pushing
had a
back as
4,
much on
it would have
that
been
one.
Dallas.
You see what I'm saying? They didn't even make mine last week. And I'm like, I got to throw some respect
But here's
on
another
it.
thing. You look at their wins, not
Cheeks.
great.
Yeah, or cheeks.
Yeah. I mean,
Cowboys-
all credit in the world to Cooper Rush.
Yep.
Getting the job done.
What
All
is
credit
that going to be like? What is Jerry Jones
Dak.
thinking about that?
Dak.
Yeah.
First of all, Jerry Jones is going, I paid this much money guaranteed when I could have had this other guy.
But you know what? When it comes down to Cooper Rush, what didn't he have? He didn't have that draft pick. He didn't have any of those things that
That's right.
that Dak had. Was he even drafted? I'm looking at his profile right now.
Did you see, though, the other day, Cooper Rush actually had to go in. It was kind of a big scare for Dallas because he had to go in for an operation. He had some x-rays. They saw he has that dog in him.
no.
I swear. Well,
It's the buildup.
If men Shafe could get away with torturing you, I feel like we would.
Well, you
It's
do
very
for 4
funny.
hours a day. Or Shafe does.
Yeah, he went undrafted. Shout out to the undrafted. Yeah.
Number 4 for me, the Kansas City Chiefs are my number 4 team.
Really?
What, is that too low?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I still think offensively, I need to see consistently what we just saw against Tampa.
See, the Marcus, Big Swagoo.
Yeah.
He pretty much called you out yesterday without even like bringing up
Swagoo?
Big Swagoo.
Who's that?
What's his name on
Marcus
ESPN?
Spears.
Marcus Spears.
Oh.
He was like, we got to stop LeBron James and Patrick Mahomes.
What
And
do
then he
you mean?
made a really good point. Like, what he's doing is very dynamic. Don't get bored by what he's doing and what they're capable of.
See, I go the opposite way.
What?
I think people hype him up too much for throws that Ryan Tannehill was making against the Colts. Ryan Tannehill's sidearm touchdown throw to Chika Okonkwo, if Patrick Mahomes does that, it's a top 10 play on SportsCenter. Ryan Tannehill did it, and people are still like, oh, he's a game manager.
The volume
What's
in which
the
Patrick
difference?
does it, though.
Sure,
Don't let
but
it bore you. I was with him on
Malik
that
Willis
one.
did it in
I like Marcus
preseason, like-
Spears. I like Marcus Spears. He had a real good point
I
there.
don't know.
Don't get bored with it, Will. Enjoy it.
See, I don't get bored with it because he also, as I'm taking the offensive line side with this, he invites way more pressure upon himself
Oh, yeah.
from an offensive line standpoint than he should.
I've lived that life.
Is half of it.
As
He
long as you
scrambles
make
around
plays.
and just runs around so much like a little kitten. like a little puppy. That he takes
See,
more
it's
hits than he
condescending.
should.
You hear it though?
It's kind of sad.
You hear it?
Yeah.
That's what he was talking about right
He
there.
LeBron'd him.
Yeah, he LeBron'd him. The kid is nice, Will.
Look, I mean, I think 1 through 4 are separated from everyone else. I'm okay with really switching anyone between 2, 3, and 4. I could put the Chiefs at 2 and I'd be fine with it.
Mm-hmm. Savage was saying exactly what I was saying. Ben did the same thing. So you making that complaint to me about the offensive
Ben
line?
did the same thing?
Yeah,
Ben
of course.
Roethlisberger.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, he invited
it
him.
wasn't
He did.
going
That's right.
outside the pocket as much. I feel like for
early
him
in
it
his
was
career.
like
Early
stepping
in his
up and
career.
like to the side.
I told you the first thing he said to me when I first started, hey, Mo, just when you think you block long enough, block longer. And then after that,
All right, perfect.
block even longer. Like that's the way it goes.
Anyway, though, the offensive line for the Bucs were really good. In the Super Bowl, they returned back to the scene of the crime of that loss to Tampa, where he was sacked 3 times and pressured on 33% of his snaps.
Mm-hmm.
In this game, he's only pressured on 22% of his snaps. So, I've got them 4.
He does invite it, though. I won't deny that.
He definitely does.
Yeah, he does.
He definitely does. But, I think 2, 3, and 4 are interchangeable. Number 3, Jonathan Schaefer joins us now.
KC.
I got KC also.
I've got Green Bay 3. What?
I don't know what to make of that team. I get it. I don't know what to make
Won
of that
3 in a
team.
row.
I have no idea what that team is.
But he also went toe-to-toe, as he said, as Aaron Rodgers said it in his press conference, with the third-string undrafted backup quarterback.
And they found a way to win. Maybe I've been
That
spending
ought to
too
let
much
you know
time
how
about.
triggered Aaron Rodgers was at that game.
I've been spending too much time around Mike Vrabel and the
So
Titans.
you
and
LeBron Mahomes.
Yeah.
But you lift Aaron Rodgers
Yeah.
up and the ayahuasca or
Yeah,
whatever
you
it is that
did.
he consumes.
You put him on a pedestal.
I think the fact that it's a different formula for the Packers intrigues
It's
me.
the same.
No, it's not.
Aaron Rodgers does the exact
It's
same
not.
thing as Patrick does.
It is not. No, and I'm not arguing
Okay,
that.
okay.
I'm saying the formula is different as far as their defense is winning them more games. Now, you got to remember, the interception they have in the first half gives
Talking about Green
New
Bay?
England 7 points. Yeah. I mean, he throws a pick 6. Rodgers does. Rodgers was bad in this game, and they won. That intrigues me.
Yeah.
That's why I have them 3rd. I think their defense is better. And I think Aaron Jones is terrific, by the way.
Oh, well, of course.
Aaron Jones, it's a good offense, but I don't know. They just intrigue me. I was kind of a Packers hater coming into this week.
Yeah.
I'm a little more of a believer now.
Well, you putting the A-Rod on a pedestal. That's
I
what
just
you
don't think the
That's
Bucs
what
are
you
very
doing.
good. I don't trust that win very much
Oh, I don't even have Tampa Bay in the top
for
6.
I don't
Kansas
have them in
City
the top
because
7.
I don't either. But anyway,
Now, could they get in there? Sure.
continue.
Phrasing.
Number 2.
But
So
this
number
is
2.
your top 7, though, so I digress.
Sure.
My number 2 is the Bills.
Bills.
Same here.
Bad loss, but come back and beat Baltimore the way they did in Baltimore. Oh, my God. Chafe, you know this. That crowd don't go for that.
Oh, no. So we all got Philly as 1 since they're undefeated.
Yeah, I got Philly.
Bills
But
were-
Philly is actually good.
Bills were down
No, they
20-3 in the first half. Josh Allen had been 0-7 in his career when trailing by 17 or more points. He was also 0-6, the Bills were last year in games decided by a touchdown or less. So
He's the league MVP.
He is. He ain't even
I don't
close
think
at
so.
this point.
I think Lamar.
Oh, that's fair. No, you know what? That's fair.
Okay.
I think it's
I'm
Lamar.
fine with that. I'm fine.
Single-handedly, he is.
I think he's going to get it because I think Buffalo's going to have a better season.
Sure.
Ultimately.
There we go.
But
That's fair.
I'm fine with that.
And
you
he's
you
already-
can go either one of them.
I
He beat
think
him
there
on the
is-
head-to-head already.
Because you know what? To be fair, Ramon,
Uh-huh.
I LeBron Lamar a little too much.
You did?
I do.
That's
I do.
fair.
Yep.
But I know where your heart and soul is, so it's always.
It's
the
seriously, it's not
Ravens.
because it's the Ravens. It's really not. I LeBron Lamar a little too much.
Okay. Look at us coming together to,
I think
to
the
call
Eagles-
out our transgressions here, man.
The
That's
thing-
awesome.
Yeah.
The thing about the Eagles before we go to break is Miles Sanders was terrific in that game. Miles Sanders is the weapon that we most often forget about with the addition of A.J. Brown to that offense.
Yeah.
Like we think a lot about A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, what Jalen Hurts has been able to do, the quarterback play he's given them. Miles Sanders had 27 carries for 134 yards and 2 touchdowns. He had the game-tying touchdown with less than 4 minutes remaining in the first half in this game to get Philly all the way back against Jacksonville. And I think we all respect Jacksonville quite a lot as a team that we think is legit. So
They're up and coming.
Yeah.
They're
I
not
think so,
there
too.
yet.
No, they're
but
not.
They're
they're
gonna make
within the 10 teams that are between like 10 and 20 in the NFL. Well, I would put the Titans in that conversation as well, along with most of the AFC West. That's good, not great right now. Changes quickly. 615-737-1045 up next. Josh Ward of Josh and Swain on Sports Radio WNML in Knoxville joins us to talk Vols. Keys for Tennessee at LSU this weekend, and we'll get an update from Josh about the health of this team as the Vols lose a major corner, but hope to get Cedric Tillman back this weekend in Baton Rouge. That's coming up next. It's Ramona Will, powered by All Four Seasons on 104.5 The Zone. Not going to lie, the return of third down for what was maybe the single loudest 30 seconds I've heard in Neyland Stadium. Maybe ever. It's Ramona Will, powered by all 4 seasons of 104.5 The Zone. Ramon Foster, Will Bowling with you. Tennessee and LSU coming up this weekend in Baton Rouge. Going to be a fun time. And joining us on the Mark Spain Real Estate Hotline out of Knoxville, Sports Radio WNML's Josh Ward. What's going on, Josh? How are you?
Josh?
Hey, good morning. So were you glad to have it back? Third down for what?
I was. As a young, member of the media, was also in school when that started. So for me, it's a little bit of nostalgia of like, back when I was a boy and used to go here, this was something we played on third downs.
Yeah, now they converted, right? So that was
That's true.
Much. I think just a couple of times, but yeah, it's more about the energy. So don't pay attention to the stats and the conversions. I say keep it going.
Yeah, I'm a little indifferent about it because, I missed that era. I wasn't really a part of it, and I hear it, and I'm like, okay, I get it, but my appreciation level isn't as high as Will's right now.
Yeah, I say don't make it an every third down thing because then it gets overplayed, and then you really do start to break down. Well, what are the third down conversions? Is it really working? Don't judge it that way. Just use it for the extra energy boost. So I would say what they did against Florida a couple times in the game, 2 to 4 times over a 4-quarter game. And you hope, obviously, that you're getting off the field on third down so there aren't that many opportunities for them to be able to play it. But I would say continue to use it, but don't make it a must because then people start to notice it and some people are going to get tired and then we start to have arguments about it, which end up being the worst.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt about it. Josh Ward with us this morning on 104.5 The Zone. Josh, how much healthier is this Tennessee team heading into LSU this weekend than they were against Florida?
Well, I think some of the bumps and bruises should be healed up. I think for quarterback Hendon Hooker, it was good to get the week off after the Florida game because he was somebody that probably needed a break. The big question this week will be Cedric Tillman, and I think right now, still a few days out, he is at best questionable, probably closer to doubtful than I would certainly say probable. I don't know anybody that has an expectation that he plays this week, and he's the big one. So I think right now, if I had to predict, it's more likely he's out and they're more confident that Cedric is able to come back and play in the Alabama game. But D. Williams is expected to be able to go this week at corner, which is important because Warren Burrell is now lost for the season, and Tennessee's been without him for the last couple of weeks. They need help there in the secondary. Let's see if he plays or plays a good amount at corner. We know they need help, but coaches on the road against an SEC team, is this going to be his first real shot? Part of that might be how the other guys play, like Kamal Haddon and Christian Charles. And then Dylan Sampson, I think there's hope that he can go. The bigger question would be how much trust. Again, a freshman on the road that hasn't played that much. He is from Louisiana. I'm sure they'd love to have a guy from down in that state go to LSU and be able to help the team. But I think overall this team has to be pretty happy with where they are from a health standpoint. Cedric Tillman is a big-time player. But knock on wood, I think Tennessee's been okay so far through the first month of the season health-wise.
When it comes to Josh Heupel's legacy at UT right now, is this probably one of the biggest turning points for him as far as winning against Florida, having to bye, and then having to go to Death Valley against LSU? Like, where is he as far as being able to get this team to reset?
Yeah, I think the word of this season has turned into opportunity. Florida was a big opportunity. Hey, you can finish 4-0. You can get into the top 10. There haven't been many wins against Florida, so just getting that win itself was a big deal. So now you are 4-0, and you are number 8 in the country, and you're going up against a team that is respected in name, and it's a top 25 team in one of the polls. So you have a chance to go get a top 25 win. But Tennessee, I think, head-to-head is a better football team. So that's why it's an opportunity as well. Like, how many times is anybody a favorite in Baton Rouge against LSU? Right. It's just not common, right? If you pull Alabama out of that conversation, I bet it's even less common. So for Tennessee to go on the road and have a chance to get to 5-0, and what the build-up next week in Knoxville will be like for the Alabama game, if that's the case. It'll be a big week next week either way, but it's about what you're trying to build, what you're trying to stack, and you can take that out onto the recruiting trail. So I think in terms of just Josh Heupel at Tennessee and the program moving forward, I would still describe Florida as more important because last week and this week still going on has been really positive and optimistic, and there's just a ton of excitement around the program. would have been a different conversation if that had not been a win. So that's why I think that game was probably more important, but it is kind of what do you do next, especially in big games, and that's really what it's about, getting to play in more big games where more is going to be on the line for Tennessee, and Josh Heupel has helped put Tennessee in that position now.
I personally don't think a whole lot of LSU OL. I've seen them play. I've seen a quarterback have to scramble and break down. At what success rate do you need to kind of see this Vols defensive front get after that LSU offensive line?
I think that's one of the most important things for Tennessee to be able to do. Guys like Byron Young and Tyler Barron, who are good players. They're two of the better players on the team. Do we see more of Roman Harrison and Joshua Joseph, a freshman who has continued to impress, get an opportunity? You know, it's about trying to get to Jaden Daniels and make things difficult for him while also containing him, because every game this season he has shown the ability to take off and scramble, pick up first downs, and we know about the history that Tennessee has there. It's difficult for any defense against that kind of quarterback who has playmaking ability if something breaks down, but also creating pressure, because the question going in is Tennessee's secondary. And while we can talk about Tennessee's issues, LSU is thinking, okay, we had some issues this past week trying to throw the football. Couldn't do it against Auburn. Mm-hmm. Here is our chance to break out, just like Florida was able to break out a little bit for Anthony Richardson when he had been struggling to throw the football. So more pressure they can create and help the secondary. I think that's going to be really important, because I think we've watched the first 5 weeks of LSU season and said, okay, a place to attack would be that offensive line. Just like we're talking about Tennessee's secondary, can they get some things fixed? Tennessee's going to say, okay, LSU's offensive line, have you got anything fixed? Because we're going to come after you.
Josh Ward with us this morning on Ramon and Will. Josh, how much do you expect to see D. Williams making his debut for Tennessee this weekend? Who helps him fill in for Warren Burrell, who's now out for the season?
Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know, because I come back to how much do coaches trust the player that they haven't seen out there. We know they brought D. Williams in from junior college to be able to help immediately. That's why you sign a player that's a little bit older and has a little more experience beyond the high school level. And I think that they were impressed with what they had seen from D leading up to him being injured before the start of the season. So, you know, part of it to me comes back to how is Kamal Haddon playing? How is Christian Charles playing? You know, there are other guys that we talked about in August, Brandon Turnage, who has some experience from last year, but there hasn't been a ton of trust, I would say, there. Deshaun Rucker is a guy that's played some for Tennessee. But, you know, my guess is if there's any question that they give D. Williams an opportunity, because he was signed to come in this spot. LSU is talented at wide receiver, by the way. I should point that out.
Right.
While their passing game was not impressive this past week, their talent at receiver still very much is. So I would say if D. Williams is a guy that you feel like has had a good week in practice, and you do have questions elsewhere, which would be understandable if they do, then with CD, it's difficult to predict. Similar to Dylan Sampson, I don't know. At running back, Squirrel White, at wide receiver. No, they like him, but how much do they trust him? And then on defense, I do think Joshua Joseph should get more of an opportunity. But, you know, let's see if more comes for him. I would say D. Williams is in a similar spot because of his lack of experience so far at Tennessee.
Josh, the Pittsburgh game was certainly the good. The Florida game was definitely the bad for Tennessee on defense. What is this defense? What is a reasonable expectation between those two performances for this team moving forward in SEC play?
Well, I think the story is probably somewhere in the middle. This is not a great defense. I don't think we're going to be comparing this to the great defenses we've seen from Tennessee going back to John Chavis years and the amount of talent that Tennessee had. Tennessee could run all over at every level. But I do think that I say it's in the middle because we've seen Tennessee be able to make plays on defense. Even there were some issues early, right, against Pittsburgh, but then Trayvon Flowers steps up and makes a play and steals the football away. In the Florida game, despite the issues that the defense had there, Amari Thomas steps up when Florida was trying to swing momentum back its way and knocks the ball loose, and Jeremy Banks is able to fall on it and keep Florida from making it a one-score game at that time. And who knows how things play out the rest of the way. So there will be times where Tennessee's defense is vulnerable, and we'll see about this week, certainly in games moving forward. Next week, Alabama, with the speed and talent that they have on the offensive side, you're going to run into some real matchup issues. But if the guys that we talked about kind of starting out the conversation on defense, Byron Young, Tyler Barron, those guys up front, Jeremy Banks, if they can be disruptive, if they can make plays, then this defense can be opportunistic and get the ball back for the offense. I still think that's the best way for Tennessee to be at its best, for the defense to make plays, because they're going to give up yards. They're probably going to give up points. But if they can be good enough in the red zone and they can take the football away a couple of times and the offense holds on to it, that turnover margin, I think it means even more for Tennessee, because it can keep the opposing team from thinking, hey, we've got a chance to strike. But they've got to make plays on defense. I think that's how they give themselves the best chance to win.
Josh, it's easy to complain when you win games. And as big as that Florida win was and walked out of stadium, people said we were conservative and, all those types of things when it comes down to closing out games. When it does come to this on the road, where is this offensive line as far as their development, as far as grounding out the clock to win games and close out so you don't have an onside kick type of situation or giving the ball back to a team that's really dynamic? Like you said, LSU's quarterback is pretty good also.
Yeah, and by the way, now is the time for that conversation, because that was the conversation like right after the win against Florida and Sunday, and Monday's like, hold on, there haven't been that many wins against Florida. You've got 2 weeks to address that, which the coaches are going to see, and they're going to evaluate what they need to do. That is kind of the next question, I guess, with the offense. And, it's an offense that's built on going fast and trying to attack the opposing defense. So if you're trying to slow things up and you're asking your offense to be a little bit different in what it's doing, that's maybe not that easy, not as easy as you want it to be. I like this offensive line overall in terms of their ability, the way that Javonte Spraggins and Jerome Carvin play in the middle, and there's a ton of confidence with Cooper Mays. But, the conversation also, it's affected by, do you execute it or not? Because if they pick up one more first down, then we're not talking about Florida having a shot there late, and there are no questions about how the offense performs. So you still need to be able to get that next first down. And I don't necessarily have an issue with the approach that Josh Heupel was taking late. Maybe they look at it and say, okay, we could have run things a little bit differently, try to get on the outside, use speed a little bit more. Maybe that's something that we see if they're in that spot in the next time. But it's, in the offseason, there was the short yardage question. Can they be better short yardage running the football when they need to get 2 to 3 yards in a big spot? And I think this is the question that's remaining, because when it's all gas, we're going at you with this offense, I think you feel as good about Tennessee as just about any offense in the country. But when it's late and you have to run a clock out and you have to keep the opposing team from getting the football, that's a question that still remains for this offense. But I honestly, I think that's a tougher for a lot of really good offenses than people want it to be, because it can come down to one play. And if one guy gets through in the front and makes a stop and you have to give the football back, then the pressure's on your defense again. But I think this will be a long-term question with Tennessee's offense. The way that it goes, as fast as they want to go, if they're going to slow it up, that's not what Tennessee's offense is.
Josh, where does Hendon Hooker fit in the Heisman Trophy conversation for you right now?
He's near the top. So during the summer conversation, when this would pop up, I understood why, and I thought that he should be in that kind of outside conversation besides the obvious players, Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud. Why were they in the conversation? One, they were there last year, but two, their teams were near the top. And the truth is that the award is very much affected by your team's success. So my thought was, let's see what happens in September. If Tennessee wins 4 games, if Tennessee beats Florida, then the team is going to get more attention. Well, that's true. Tennessee's now ranked number 8 in the country. And if Tennessee was going to win those 4 games, my guess was that Hendon was going to play a big part in it. And honestly, he's probably played a bigger part considering the numbers and his performance against Florida. I just think it's an all-time quarterback performance when you think about the magnitude of that game and the opponent and what it means to the Tennessee fan base. So now you get a little more national attention. Tennessee still has to do more, and realistically, if he's going to have a chance to be in New York, Tennessee still needs to pick up a couple more wins. This game could be an example, but I think Hendon Hooker, if he's able to stay healthy, that's part of the conversation. I think he has a really good chance to be at the Heisman ceremony. Win it, I'm still really skeptical there. I don't have to go through the Tennessee history with the award to tell fans why they need to be skeptical that Vols is going to win the award. But be there, I think he's done everything that anybody could have expected and then some. Great character, great story with what he's able to do, and an offense that is a lot of fun and has a lot of people talking. The more people talk about you in a positive manner, the more realistic it becomes to be there in the end, at least with a shot at the Heisman Trophy.
I love it. I'm with you, by the way, completely. I think that's a good goal for Tennessee. Just get him to New York. Not going to win it, but being a finalist. Certainly a good step in the right direction for Josh Heupel and Tennessee on the recruiting trail at the very least. Josh Ward has been our guest of Sports Radio WNML in Knoxville. Does a great job, Josh and Swain, with our guy Jason Swain. Appreciate the time as always, Josh. Good stuff.
Appreciate it.
Hey, you got it. Thanks a lot, guys.
All right, there is Josh Ward with us here on the Mark Spain Real Estate Hotline. When we come back, let's dive into the headline out of Knoxville yesterday. Josh Heupel addressing the status of starting cornerback Warren Burrell, the options behind him, and what it means for the Tennessee defense moving forward. That's next. Ramona Will, powered by All Four Seasons on 104.5 The Zone.
When it comes to large home repairs, a lot of the time we homeowners pretend we don't see the warning signs. We are afraid of what we're going to hear. This is especially true with waterproofing and foundation repair. It can be something big that needs to be fixed, or it can be a small problem now that will become bigger later, or it might not be anything at all. In these moments, though, you want a peace of mind, and that's when you need United Structural Systems. With USS, you get problem solvers, experts to educate you and help you understand what's happening with your home. USS will provide an honest diagnosis and stand by their work and warranties. USS is based right here in Middle Tennessee and is a member of our community. So when it comes to something as important as your home, USS is the company who cares and a company you can trust. USS serving Middle Tennessee, Southern Kentucky, and Northern Alabama. Find them online at USSTN.com or call 615-227-2275. We guarantee our best. Call USS.
Ramona Will, powered by all four seasons of 104.5 The Zone. Will Bowling, Ramon Foster, and Jonathan Schaefer with you. On the phone lines at 615-737-1045, where Tennessee will be without a starting defensive back for the rest of the season, guys. Josh Heupel announcing yesterday at his weekly press conference that Warren Burrell underwent surgery on an upper body injury suffered at the end of the Pittsburgh game and will miss the rest of the year. Started the first two games of the season before sitting out the last two against Akron and Florida, with Christian Charles officially starting in his place. Started 22 games in his career, had the most snaps played of the position group before his injury, and was on the field for all but two of the snaps in the win against Pittsburgh. Ramon, people complained a lot about Warren Burrell, about getting burned, about giving up 12 catches on 20 targets for 103 yards and a touchdown in his first two games of the season. But fair or unfair, you are losing the guy with the most experience. It's just the facts of the matter at this point at a position where you don't have a lot of experience.
Yeah. That could be a good thing, though, Will. You know, like sometimes bringing in a guy like D. Williams is just like, all right, this is the opportunity you've been waiting for. Like you said, Warren was good, not great when you look at everything he's done. It's one thing for experience. And we spoke about this, I feel like, yesterday. When saying what's the one thing somebody has over another? It's experience. Sometimes that experience, Will, is a little outdated in the play that's being provided. So I get excited for moments like this, though, because the guys who are new starters or put in those roles, Will, have been talked to all week long, like, hey, this is a big task. Hey, you're playing SEC ball now. Hey, you came here for these reasons to play in these types of games. I look at it as a good thing. I'm sorry for Warren Burrell, and, you know, the injury is season ending, and hopefully he gets an opportunity to come back better than ever. But this is a big-time moment, Will. Like, we could sit here and, you know, just kind of harp on it a little bit and feel down and play all the what ifs and the man, I hope nots. But I don't look at it necessarily as a bad reason. You recruit these guys for a specific purpose, and especially when you go get a JUCO guy too. You know, like having him available. I'm riding with you by saying, look, this is a level of concern.
Yeah.
You don't want them to be fresh legs. You don't want them to be eyes in the backfield. But this isn't like this is a freshman walking out there. This is a guy that has some experience.
I think it's a bad thing. I think it's a really bad thing for Tennessee right now, because Warren Burrell last season averaged 16 yards per catch and 10 yards per target. That number has come down considerably this season. And last year, the quarterback rating when he was targeted for opposing teams was 30 points higher than it was this season. So he'd made improvements and was becoming more of a number one corner for Tennessee in a very conservative defensive backfield. I think that's the thing that Tennessee fans are going to point to and say, well, he's given up all these catches. There's a lot of cushion for Tennessee in the defensive backfield. I think that's the way that this Tennessee defense played the first 2 weeks by design. And wanting to be more aggressive up front and keep everything in front of them from a defensive secondary standpoint. I imagine we're going to see even more of that now.
Oh, yeah.
With less experience at that position.
100%. Like the job of the guys up front, man, has become way higher right now to get after the quarterback. And not just that, the linebackers, when it come down to their quarterback break and contain. Like, that's the one thing you can't allow this week is that aspect of it. If they're playing bend but don't break at the secondary, keeping everything in front, basically, right, Will? Not having them take the top off. Well, if you do that and you keep your wide receivers, if you keep LSU wide receivers in front of you, I think you set the panic button when it comes down to LSU's quarterback in two different ways. The O-line is very leaky. I think last week they were without the starting right guard. I think their left guard ended up missing action or ended up getting hurt at some point in time too. One of the strongholds that LSU has always had is their OL. This year in particular, I don't see them being as strong.
It's a weakness.
So if that's the case, the support of the linebackers closing out on their quarterback and not extending drive, that's where the secondary has gotten into a whole lot of trouble, is breaking contain and quarterbacks being able to make those throws on the run down the field. Again, Warren Burrell got time on the field. I'm looking at this and saying, okay, he wasn't as great as we needed him to be anyway, so, Will, how much worse can it actually be? And I say that as I knock on wood, hoping it's not that worse.
Well, we said that against Purdue, and it was a whole lot worse. when a lot of these guys got their first opportunity, and you're continuing to see them give up the explosive plays in the passing game against Florida, albeit in a winning effort.
I think that's two different situations. You look at Purdue's situation.
Oh, no, it was definitely two different situations.
All right, I'm not just going to let you like the world is burning type of
Aiden O'Connell and Anthony Richardson couldn't be more different at the quarterback position.
Right.
But I think this is a get-right game for Kayshon Boutte within the LSU offense. Guy that has only caught 11 passes this season for 97 yards and no touchdowns. He's coming off his worst game of the year against Auburn, where he has just one catch for 4 yards for this LSU offense. Brian Kelly saying this week, part of this is building new trust with a quarterback, saying we're still winning, and he's happy that we're winning. He was happy he won the football game. Would he like the ball more? Absolutely, but he's handled himself in the right way and continues to work for the team. Just hasn't really been that guy that I think many expected within the SEC. Is really the guy that was seen as the top receiver coming back this season within the Southeastern Conference.
Yeah.
And one of the top NFL prospects at the wide receiver position, still struggling within those first 5 games with just 11 catches and under 100 yards total. I think this is a get-right game for him. I think LSU is looking for ways to get him involved against a dilapidated, kind of depleted Tennessee secondary.
Well, I hope they do try to go force the ball to him. I really do, because in those situations, you expose a lot in that type of situation. You double the stars, you keep a safety over the top of them, whatever you got to do in those situations. Well, I think the room for error in college is higher when you do those types of things. So if they got a one-track mind on getting the wide receiver the ball and making him the guy on a game day like this, that could be bad for LSU. So I'm riding with it. I think highly of what LSU is. I would not take away from the fact that they always have good teams. 100% they recruit well. They are in Louisiana, top 4 recruiting hotbeds in all of America. So I'll never underestimate what those guys can do, especially there.
When we come back, I want to ask about your experience playing in one of the most exciting Tennessee wins in recent memory. A Tennessee win over LSU, where a certain guard was pulling around the left side of the offensive line to put Gerald Riggs Jr. into the end zone and finish one of the more improbable comebacks Tennessee has been a part of in the last 20 years. We go inside Death Valley in a night game, but inside Death Valley with Ramon Foster and his experience playing the Tigers. We'll do that coming up next. Halftime of the show, third quarter when we come back on Ramon and Will.
I'm a VAA. I'm one of those that thinks the Vols are all right.
It's Ramon Foster on behalf of the Home Loan Expert, okay? What is a reverse mortgage? Well, a reverse mortgage is a loan against the equity you have in your home. For homeowners 62 years and older, it's a loan that you don't have to make payments on. It can be paid out in one lump sum, fixed installments, or a line of credit. Who is a reverse mortgage for? Homeowners ages 62 and older who have at least 50% equity in their home. People who want to stay in their homes and not sell to assess their equity in their house. People who want to supplement their retirement income to pay bills or simply to travel and enjoy life. And why should you do a reverse loan mortgage? Well, there's no loan payments. You get the money you need to supplement your income or take the vacation of your dreams in your retirement. You spent all these years paying your mortgage. Now it's time to put your equity to work for you. You won't be kicked out of your home. The reverse mortgage doesn't have to be paid off until you move out or you sell your home. If this is something that interests you, go visit thehomeloanexpert.com.
It is 8 o'clock. Good morning. I'm Jonathan Schaefer from the Superbook.com sports desk. The San Francisco 49ers rode a sensational Deebo Samuel touchdown, also had a pick six to a 24-9 win over the Los Angeles Rams, their seventh straight win over their divisional rival.
Shotgun snap from their own 43. Left tackle blocking a leaping catch made on a quick throw at the 50 by Samuel. Broke a tackle 45, breaks a tackle 40. He's on the hash mark to 30. He's being chased as he comes to the near side 25. Broke a tackle at the 20. Sideline 10, 5, touchdown! What a run after the catch! Deebo Samuel.
The incomparable Kevin Harlan, Westwood won with the call, which was heard here on 104.5 The Zone. Nick Bosa, 2 sacks for San Francisco. They had 7 total against Matthew Stafford, both teams 2-2. And after sweeping the Mets over the weekend, the Braves fell to the Marlins in Miami 4-0 yesterday. Meanwhile, the Nationals-Mets game was rained out, causing a doubleheader today. The Braves still have a game-and-a-half lead over the Mets in the NL East. For all foundation repair and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your Over the Titans and the Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
The last time the Tennessee Volunteers won at LSU, the guy sitting to my left was paving the way for an improbable comeback, and we chat with Ramon Foster about what it is like playing in Death Valley. It's hour number 3 of Ramona Will, powered by all 4 seasons on 104.5 The Zone. Jonathan Schaefer making the show happen. He was never a pulling guard, but we let him hang out with us anyway.
The best producer in the world.
Because he's the best producer in the world. 11-year NFL veteran involved
Hang
for
out
life,
with
Ramon
us.
Foster.
You weren't a pulling guard.
Yeah, that's right.
Us. Where's this us?
Yeah, but I'm delightful.
It's like right out of Tropic Thunder. What do you mean, you people?
Or what's the show with the gif of like the we?
We? Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
That's fine.
That's right.
Yeah, you be all right.
My name's Will.
Is it? Is it really?
Gerald Riggs
Nobody in
Jr.
the
scores
show.
that touchdown. Yeah, this is fine. Gerald Riggs Jr. scores that touchdown.
Yeah.
And that was a fun one.
It was a fun one, man.
I had the flu during that game.
Did you? Did you still go
That's
to
what
the
I
game?
remember. No, I was not there. I've never been to Baton Rouge.
You have? Oh, that's right. This weekend's gonna be a new for
the
you,
first time?
Huh?
That's right.
Nice. I actually got the game on right now. Boy, this game is grainy. Looking at the old film.
Yeah,
on
you're
it, man,
old.
This is awesome. I'll throw my phone at you right now. You say I'm old again. Barely older than you, young guy.
Uh-huh.
Young guy, get the milk off your lips there, sir.
Oh, okay. Wow. Anyway.
Yeah. But talk about playing in Death Valley, though, man. LSU. We went there. It was right after Katrina happened, man. It was so crazy actually flying over, seeing everything that had happened and everything, man. It was by far one of the most wild environments ever. That crowd was searching for something. It was loud, rambunctious, man. And the way their crowd is set up, like they are right up on your like backs. I think it was Rob Lewis that ended up getting hurt at left guard, and I ended up having to go into the game, man, and finish and get out. You want to talk about, hey, it's time to grow up, and it's time to grow up fast. I will say this. That year, though, I ended up getting, in the spring, most improved, like for the entire offense. No,
Really?
for the entire defense. Yeah,
Yeah.
I won an award twice. I was wondering how the heck it happened. I won it in 05 and I won it in 07. That year of 2005, I had actually just had toe surgery on my left big toe, man, on my birthday, which is even more crazy. But we go down there, man, and the ending of the game was survive. Like, we had a really good team that year, I thought. And we go down to LSU, and I never forget, like, when the play came, and I'm thinking to myself, don't trip, Moan, don't fall down. We're going for the win right now. I pull out to the left, kick out the outside linebacker, which would have probably made that tackle. G. Riggs actually ended up running through the inside backer himself on that play. But if it wasn't for the kick out, because we appreciate offensive line on this show, then he would have probably got tackled in the backfield. By far one of the best games I've ever been a part of. What was that, Shafe? Huh?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay. I thought somebody had a pushback on what happened. My recollection of this game.
What was it like playing there, though, under the lights? Night game.
It was awesome. This is also the other part of it, too. We escaped out of that city with a win, right? Oh, we took a win. It wasn't no escaping out. We took that win. But leaving out the way the buses were kind of set up, Coach Former said in the front of the bus, leaving out, and there was a guy, man, it was like he was a frat guy, just drunk out of his mind. We're leaving the buses, throws a beer bottle at the front of the windshield where Coach Former was, shatters it. They shattered like side windows.
Oh, wow.
So to say like they were wanting that win or it just means more in the SEC,
sure.
Well, it was toxic. They was like, screw Katrina. Like, no, we came here for a win. Like, they bust like windows. And the thing about those buses, they belong to the city in which they are. Like, those buses didn't travel from Knoxville to come down to Baton Rouge. No. They were a part of the city. But I never forget, I heard a doof. And next thing you know, I saw this big shattered piece of glass on the front of the window, and they bust out the front windshield and a couple of the side ones too, man. It was by far one of the wildest situations ever.
When you think about that season, that's the best win Tennessee had in 2005.
It was. We made a bowl that year.
You start off number 3 in the preseason that year.
Yep.
It narrowly beat UAB. I remember being at that game as a kid, being like, they'll figure it out.
Yep.
Like that, it'll be good. You guys are talented. You know, some bumps on the way. The close loss to Florida. That defense was good.
It was
really good.
Should have been a lot more to come out of that team that year, man.
It was a tough schedule, though, too. You look at that schedule. You played at number 6 Florida.
Yep.
You beat at number 4 LSU. That was one of 2 losses that season for that 2005 LSU team that finished ranked number 10, beating Miami 40-3 in the Peach Bowl. That was Joseph Adai, Dwayne Bowe, Matt Flynn, the quarterback. Andrew Whitworth was on that team,
right,
for LSU that Tennessee beat back in 2005. Jamarcus Russell, also a young Jamarcus Russell on that team.
He's a quarterback right now in this game.
What?
He's actually
Jamarcus
starting.
Russell started that game.
Started that game.
But Tennessee goes to LSU and wins that game. You guys beat Ole Miss 27-10, and then you lose 4 straight to number 5 Georgia, number 5 Alabama in the 6-3 game that has since been vacated by the Crimson Tide. You lose to South Carolina. That was a tough one at home, 16-15. And then you go to Notre Dame, the game I was at. Again, the nicest road fans ever. I always say that. And going as a road fan at a college football game. And you go to Notre Dame and lose that 41-21. It's crazy. I always think about that 05 win over LSU, but I don't remember it was 05. To be honest with you, because it sticks out so much as you guys are down 21-0 to that team. Eric Ainge throws the ball, is thrown into the goalpost effectively. In the back of the end zone. It was Dan Orlovsky before there was Dan Orlovsky in the back of the end zone. And then Rick Clausen comes in. And leads you guys, and Gerald Ricks. I mean, it's easy to remember what Gerald Ricks Jr. did, because going into that season, he was a Heisman candidate.
Yeah, he was.
For Tennessee.
And rightfully so. Ricks has a whole lot of talent. Saw him this past weekend.
Really?
Well, no, when we were at the Florida game.
I really wish you'd introduce me to him, because that's a guy that, again, like growing up, that dude was him.
You want to hear
that
something?
Dude was a legend.
Very interesting, too, about that 05 season. So I'm getting rid of like a bunch of clothes and stuff like that at the house, right? I go to check. I've had some suits for a while, okay? I go to get rid of a suit that I had, right? Or a sports jacket. I pull out a bunch of stuff, right? I get to this one particular jacket. I'm feeling around all my pockets to see if I left something in there. I don't want something personal in there, anything like that.
Sure.
This one particular sports jacket, and I remember buying this one too. I grabbed the pocket. I'm like, there's paper in here. I might have to bring this in too. There was a Delta ticket stub distributed by Tennessee for my flight on the plane to Notre Dame. And there was also a game plan sheet in that pocket, also full of O-line tips that we were on our way to play.
Remember who was on that defense?
Tuck.
Oh, Justin Tuck was.
That's
right.
On that defense.
That's right. Jeff Samardzija was on that team.
Samardzija was on that team. Inky blew him up in that game. Inky was one of the young redshirt freshmen that was playing then.
Right.
I had a ticket stub from a Delta Air flight to Notre Dame, and I had an old offensive line tip sheet in my suit jacket.
That's awesome.
Now, I'm thinking to myself, that's one thing to have those things, right? But I hadn't worn that suit since 2005. Why do I still have it?
Why do you still have it? Right.
I'm thinking, like, this is a cool moment for me. I'm looking at the tip sheet, and I'm looking at my seat. That's like my seat assignment on the plane. I was in the back, by the way, a red shirt freshman.
There you go.
But I'm thinking to myself, Moan, why do you have this suit jacket still with these pants? It's been since 2005, Will. That jacket and pantsuit has followed me from Knoxville for a few years.
Man, that suit's older than Will.
I knew that joke was coming. I was going to get out ahead of it and say it myself, but you just went ahead.
And the reason I got that suit jacket was they gave us a basically a loan to go get clothes for the season.
Okay.
And I went to a suit store and I ended up getting a sports jacket, a blue one that I can wear with multiple things. Dog, Shafe, have y'all ever had anything that you like? I'm gonna wear it. I'm gonna get to it. This is over almost 20 years. I've yet to touch. It went from Pittsburgh. Well, it went from Knoxville to Pittsburgh, and I'm sure back to Pittsburgh, back to Hendersonville.
Okay.
All within almost 20 years. Dude, what the heck?
Yeah. Well,
come on, Mo.
I'm impressed.
That is quite impressive. I sent it to our group chat of guys I play with. I was like, dude, why do you still have that and that suit? Lo and behold, though, it was real bulky and big, too.
That team, that Tennessee team, and we saw that was Randy Sanders last year as offensive coordinator at Tennessee. Great guy. I always remember him after Kentucky beat Tennessee and broke the streak 10-9.
Yeah.
Him holding up a piece of paper and said, "This was our play sheet for today," and it was like a piece of notebook paper with a couple plays on it. After they won that game, and that was a Tennessee team that should have been a lot better. Under Derek Dooley. But
that group had a bunch of All-Americans on it, too.
That Jason Allen was a first-round pick off of that team. Paris Harrelson,
R.I.P. to my
Omar
brother.
Gaither, Jesse Mahalona, a fifth-round pick by the Tennessee Titans.
All-American.
In the 2006
Justin
NFL
Harrell.
Draft. And Kevin Simon, seventh-round pick by the Washington franchise, was drafted that season. So I think we saw, kind of wrapping a bow on this, look, Ramon, we could go down memory lane on old Tennessee games that I remember that you played in. we could do entire shows of just this because it's so cool. But I think we saw the next year when David Cutcliffe came in, just how talented y'all were.
It was different.
Like you say, oh, that team should have been better. We were talented. Well, we have the proof of concept because you guys gave up 3 sacks the entire season.
It was
the next year as an offensive line with Eric Ainge at the helm.
Yeah, man.
So
Cuts the truth.
Good times. Will not be the same atmosphere though this Saturday. Todd Furman on 3HL earlier this week. Shout out to their conversation. That was actually late last week. Said that the fact that Tennessee LSU is at 11 a.m. instead of a night game is worth 1 point of the spread.
Really?
He said if Tennessee, I think, open is 4.5. I've seen it at 2.5 point favorite for the Vols on a lot of books. It would be 1.5 if it was a night game.
Oh, wow.
I think it honestly would just be a pick 'em.
I almost think it would be, too.
If it was a night game.
Yeah, they said, I'm not sure if this rumor is true, but they said Saban requested a 11 a.m. kickoff at Knoxville.
He doesn't get to.
Is that true, though? You can kind of do it?
It's not.
All right.
It's not.
Yeah, the Tennessee-Alabama game is at 2:30 Central Stuff.
2:30 and Smoky Grays this weekend at LSU.
On the road.
Road Smoky Grays. Second time the Smoky Gray uniforms will have been worn outside of Neyland Stadium. The other time was Tennessee's win over Nebraska in the Music City Bowl when Derek Barnett broke the all-time sack record at Tennessee. Nashville native.
Shout out to Derek Barnett.
Derek Barnett, DB. It's my guy. Coming up, we talk with Emily Proud of 247 Sports, CBS Sports, host and anchor for them, talking about college football from Tennessee's perspective, but also around the SEC, how surprising Georgia's performance, or lack thereof, against Missouri was, and which fan base is panicking the most right now in the SEC, because I think Texas A&M has a strong case to have the largest amount of panic in the Southeastern Conference right now. We'll get her thoughts on that. Continue the conversation right here on Ramona Will, powered by All Four Seasons on 104.5 The Zone.
Hey, it's Ramon Foster for Window Nation. Forecasters are predicting a colder and snowy winter, and winter is coming up fast. Are you prepared? Have your old windows lost their integrity? Are they drafty, hard to operate, or single pane and inefficient? The experts at Window Nation can help you prepare your home to defend against the colder weather with incredible savings. Right now, get 2 windows free for every 2 you buy and pay nothing until 2025. Imagine how much that 0% financing can save you. No payments till 2025. Add that to thousands more in energy savings over time. Leaves may be falling, but energy costs sure won't be anytime soon. And with expert installation from Window Nation, you'll join over 150,000 smart homeowners who have Window Nation windows protecting their home. Start saving with one call to 866-90Nation or visit windownation.com. You can get 2 free windows for every 2 you buy. That's buy 2, get 2 free with no limits. Plus, pay nothing until 2025. Now's the time to winterize your home with this great offer before it leaves and rake in the savings. Call Window Nation now, 866-90Nation, or visit windownation.com and tell them Ramon sent you.
Hour number 3 of Ramona Will, powered by All Four Seasons on 104.5 The Zone. Going down memory lane, talking a little bit of Tennessee LSU with Ramon Foster. And now we preview this weekend's matchup as well as all of the other college football headlines. Ramon Foster, Will Bowling, Jonathan Schaefer with you as we head to the Mark Spain Real Estate Hotline. We are joined by our friend Emily Proud, anchor and host of 247 Sports and on CBS Sports. Emily, first of all, congratulations on the new gig. First time we've had you on with the new job. Congrats. How are you?
Turn up.
If I wasn't already awake, whoo.
Yeah, there you go.
Something about air horns at 8 a.m. They
Welcome.
Get you going.
Welcome.
Thank you, guys. I'm so happy to be on.
Love it. The last time Tennessee played LSU, it was a torrential downpour. Do you have like rain jackets and like shoes that have dried out since that game in Neyland Stadium the last time Tennessee played LSU?
Yeah, that was one of those games where you just throw it all away. I mean, you're not coming back from that. I love it too. I had like these tall rain boots on that, you could go like fishing in a river with, and they were just filled with water. We were like pouring out our shoes. It was kind of nuts, but I think what was interesting too is the guys that were on the sideline for each of those teams too. That was the first debut of Brady Hoke as the interim head coach. It was just craziness, like blast from the past when I was thinking about the last time that they played LSU. So it looks like the weather's going to be a little bit better on Saturday. So I'll take that.
From your perspective, going to Death Valley, the real Death Valley, by the way, what is it like in Louisiana or Baton Rouge for you guys? Like, is it as toxic as we think it is as players on the field?
I've never been.
Oh,
I've actually never been. No, that was in Neyland Stadium the last time that they played. So I have no idea. But goodness, Tennessee fans got to be pretty excited that game's at 11 a.m. as opposed to a night game in Death Valley.
Well, let me tell you this. I told Will in our last segment, having a beer bottle thrown at the team bus leaving the field is definitely something that you don't want to be a part of often when playing in LSU.
No, I have to imagine it's probably a similar experience for any SEC team in enemy territory. I wouldn't say that's just LSU fans. I can imagine there might be some things that have been thrown at the occasional Florida game down in Gainesville, although Florida fans should be pretty happy they've come out successful in a lot of those previous meetings. So maybe in the future, who knows?
This is true. No throwing shoes this time either, like that Florida LSU game in Gainesville. So, Emily, aside from having 11 and not 13 players on the field for Tennessee in this LSU game, what is the biggest key for you? Where do you kind of approach this matchup from the Tennessee perspective?
Yeah, I know that obviously your eyes go immediately to offense, but I really want to see what Tennessee looks like on defense against this Florida State team that, is led by Jaden Daniels, and he's a very safe quarterback. I think even his head coach, Brian Kelly, said, I want you to spin it a little bit. I want you to take some risks downfield, and they've got solid receivers that he can use that he just hasn't so much. And so I think that Tennessee has a good opportunity to make life difficult for him. And so I know that there's going to be some differences with the Tennessee's defense. They're a little banged up with Warren Burrell out for the season. So we'll see, just some new guys in there and some youth. And so to see how they handle that road environment, I think is really interesting. But this is definitely a beatable LSU team. I mean, it took a 21-point swing for them to come back and beat Auburn, which, as we know, is going through a rough patch right now, I think is the kindest way of saying that. And so for Tennessee to just not take their foot off the gas and although it is beating LSU on the road in Baton Rouge, which sounds like a difficult task, and it obviously is. I mean, any road game in the SEC is tough, as evident by what we saw in Georgia and Missouri. And so just for Tennessee to be able to beat the teams that they're supposed to beat and to win these games, I think is something that I'm looking out for. But my eyes probably go straight to the defense to start, just to see what they're able to do, because I feel pretty good about what the offense is doing.
Could you have imagined about 2 years ago that Tennessee would even be in this conversation? Like, we're talking about top 10, no matter however you want to spin it as far as, well, they hadn't played, all those types of what ifs or what abouts with Tennessee. Could you have imagined Josh Heupel will be the guy to get them to this point?
I felt pretty good about Josh Heupel and his ability to, take over for a Tennessee team that was also going through quite a rough patch. I mean, I was there in Knoxville. That's why there's the video of me at the LSU game getting absolutely swamped. I wasn't just covering what was happening on the field. There was a lot of chaos happening off the field as well, with different coaching hires and a new athletic director and all of these crazy things that were going on, not to mention the, NCAA violations and everything that's going on there. And so to see the turnaround this quickly is definitely shocking for me. I think when I saw Josh Heupel was hired, it felt like a good stabilizing hire, but also in the interim, you knew that Tennessee football at least was going to be somewhat more fun to watch because he was going to have exciting offenses. It was going to be something different than we've seen. You've got that tempo. But, Hendon Hooker obviously has been a huge surprise in that he's in the Heisman conversation right now. I don't think anybody would have told you that they expected that. But ultimately, I thought that, when they brought in Heupel, it was going to get better. But no, I could not have imagined top 10 in year 2.
Emily Proud, CBS Sports, with us here on 104.5 The Zone. Emily, where does Hendon Hooker fit for you in the Heisman conversation? It feels like as much as the team aspect is weighted into that award, it's going to be tough for him. But do you think he's at least got a chance to make it to New York?
Yeah, you said it, the team element. I think he goes as far as Tennessee is able to go. You got to be one of those relevant teams down the stretch. And so far from what we've seen, through 5 weeks of action, I believe that Tennessee can be one of those teams that we're still talking about at the end of the season. I know the discussion is already happening with, can they potentially push Georgia and get to Atlanta, I think has been kind of the topic of discussion. And it especially helps when Georgia struggles while Tennessee is just sitting at home getting healthy. It further, stirs the pot there with that discussion. But if you are one of those teams that is able to play for a conference championship and God forbid, be in one of the top 4 at the end of the year, absolutely, that helps your quarterback in the Heisman race. But gosh, he's going up against some pretty stiff competition. And I would say that my favorite right now, silently, C.J. Stroud has just been taking care of business. So I'm going to put him there. But I do not think it's that far out of the realm of possibility for Hendon Hooker to get the invite, because he's got the team that can find some success and still be relevant towards the end of the year. He's got the offense to do it, and that they're just incredibly explosive. And you lose one of the top receivers in the SEC and Cedric Tillman for a few weeks, and 10 other guys step up, and you realize that, yes, these are great wide receivers. They have a deep room there, but also Hooker makes them look better. And so he has the numbers. He's got the team. I definitely don't think that it's crazy that he gets the invite to New York.
This past weekend was some good college football. Georgia got, put to a test this past weekend by Missouri, of all people. Do you see that as hey, we found a weak link when it comes down to Georgia football, or was it just Missouri played a really good game?
I don't know. I'm not going to lie. That was the most head-scratching game for me to watch. I kept, I was trying to look at the live stats while it was happening, and based on what I saw on the field, it just didn't match up. I mean, Georgia was absolutely dominating them in most categories, but, credit to the Mizzou kicker, just could not miss a kick. But it's all the things that you think that you can't do in order to pull off the upset, right? You can't be outgained. You can't be kicking field goals against Georgia. It was just really confusing for me to watch. I will say that people much smarter than I, and hopefully other teams in the SEC and Tennessee, one of them too, especially in the East, they're able to look at this game and find a blueprint to make Georgia look a little bit more human and to make it beatable. As just a layman like me watching it, I'm not, I can't go ahead and say that if they do this, then yeah, Georgia's totally gonna get beat. But it did certainly help that Georgia lost their star defensive lineman, Jalen Carter, in the first half with that knee injury. I think that opened the door for Missouri to run the ball well against them and to find some success. But I think what it should signal to, the future opponents of Georgia is that there is a way. But also what I said earlier is it is hard to win on the road in the SEC. I know it's Missouri, and I know we want to say, well, it's just Missouri and it's Georgia and they should go and dominate them. It is tough, and they talked about that after the game too, the Georgia players, just how tough that environment is, and getting a win, pretty or ugly, is a big deal.
Emily, speaking of teams that lost on the road in the SEC over the weekend, I'm curious which fan base you think is more worried right now: Texas A&M fans after a loss to Mississippi State, or their future SEC rivals in Oklahoma after 2 straight losses in the Big 12 and a beatdown to the hands of TCU?
Yeah, I saw somebody compare the two, actually, and I really liked it, how Oklahoma, for all the fanfare and excitement with, the history of that program, they said that they're going to enter the SEC kind of like Texas A&M and just go 8-4 every year.
Right.
And I liked that comparison from the standpoint of, again, what I said is it's really hard to win in the SEC, and obviously if you're struggling in the Big 12, then you worry about that. But God, we need to give some patience to Brent Venables. I think what the thing that's most surprising to me is he's a defensive guy, and they've given up like 96 points in the last 2 games. So that's a little bit of a concern. But the Big 12 is wacky. The Big 12 has so much depth, too. I think it's a very underrated conference and is a lot of fun to watch this year. And it's just kind of the weirdness of what's been happening with Oklahoma. But also, it's not just the new head coach. I mean, you lose your star player and Caleb Williams. You lose Mario Williams, too, who's a darn good wide receiver. And a list of other guys that they lost in the transfer portal. And so this was not a situation where Venables could just show up and, continue to do what Lincoln Riley did, the same exact pieces. It's going to take a little bit of time. So I'll give some patience there, but not a lot of patience for Texas A&M. My goodness, what a pickle that they're in. What is it, a $95 million buyout for Jimbo Fisher? And the fact that we're talking about it, too, is also incredibly concerning. And the problem, again, as I said with Brent Venables, is the defense, and he's a defensive guy. The problem is the offense and who's calling the plays. The guy that you got to pay $95 million to go away. And so I think what's also shocking, too, is his buyout doesn't drop below $50 million until like 2027. So get comfy. I don't think that Texas A&M's issues can immediately be solved this year. I don't think it's as easy as what they tried, which is changing up quarterbacks. I think it was just a bit of a bump, but is not going to completely overhaul the offensive struggles that they've been facing. What they need to do is just throw a bunch of money at whatever offensive coordinator that they want in the offseason, and Jimbo's got to take a step back and let whoever that is get to work. But it's hard to imagine a way in which they can completely turn around on the offensive side of the ball this year. Their defense is saving their butt on multiple occasions. So.
Emily Brown with us. No, I know that there's a Buc-ee's in Tennessee now between Nashville and Knoxville, and that Buc-ee's is a big Texas A&M revenue source. They're going to need all the Beaver Nugget sales from the Crossville Buc-ee's to just make this buyout happen. I feel like every time I go to a Tennessee game, I'm contributing. No free shout-outs, but I'm contributing to Texas A&M and Jimbo Fisher's buyout.
I contributed as well. When I made the trip from Nashville to Knoxville to watch the Florida game, and I went to Buc-ee's. I got some Beaver Nuggets, so I'm doing my part too, Aggies. But I think it's going to take a few more Beaver Nuggets and maybe some of that oil money too.
That's right.
But I don't think that's happening. They gotta just get comfy and figure something out that is moving forward with Jimbo Fisher. It doesn't seem possible.
I would feel sorry for him, but I don't. Okay, just so you know. Either way, Jimbo's going to be fine, whether he's in the stressful job of coaching or whether he get that Ed Ogeron buyout. Regardless, he's good, okay? On the other side, though, Kentucky takes an L to Ole Miss. Could have went either way, but, of course, Will Levis. I thought he lost the game for him twice as far as the fumble, and then, of course, just being careful with the ball. What is Kentucky? I know it's just one loss, and I think highly of them, but they got to be able to beat teams I felt like that they should have beat on the road with Ole Miss.
Yeah, and I think going into this game, 7 was quite a stretch to have Kentucky ranked there. I think a lot of times, AP poll voters will give their preseason rankings and then they don't want to defer too much from it, and so they don't want to knock a team if they haven't lost. And Kentucky had the good win on the road at Florida. Again, I'll say it 17 times. Hard to win on the road in the SEC, as evident by what we saw Saturday from the Cats. But I will say it was such a weird broadcast to listen to and to watch, because you bring in the Todd McShay on the sideline to talk about how Will Levis could be the number 1 quarterback taken, could be the number 1 pick in this draft. So there's all this hype where you're talking about, why is nobody talking about Will Levis? We're discussing Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud and all these great quarterbacks, but according to a lot of, the insiders that he would talk to and scouts in the NFL, they're keyed in on Will Levis. And then you see kind of the performance that you saw. And so that was interesting to watch and to listen to, and to not see him necessarily rise to the occasion. But I've got to give him the benefit of the doubt, because that offensive line is awful. He is running for his life. He is having so much trouble. You saw what happened to his fingers, just bent in half. It's absolutely disgusting. So you don't have to question his toughness. The fact that the sideline report was, well, he just snapped him back into place and taped it up and he's good to go. I would be done for the year with an injury like that. So exactly, I got to give him the benefit of the doubt there. But also Kentucky's supposed to have this really great run game, and they haven't. And I know they've been missing Chris Rodriguez, and he came back, but he was pedestrian on Saturday too. And so I really wish that we could get a better evaluation of Will Levis behind a solid offensive line, because it's just not it this year.
Good stuff. Emily Proud has been our guest. Emily now with 247 Sports, CBS. Congrats again, Emily. Let's do it again soon. Good stuff as always.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you, guys, and congrats to you, Will. I'm loving the show.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. There is Emily Proud with us here on the Mark Spain Real Estate Hotline. Show off and running here in hour number 3.
Yeah, Emily's good, man. Congrats, too, on her next move
that
right. She just had, man. That's big time. I love seeing people get elevated in positions like that, man. I'm
crushing it.
Yeah, she's good. But Will Levis conversation, though.
Let's continue that after the break, because I have been a Will Levis defender over the course of the whole offseason, and I'm ready to make a proclamation about Will Levis at the quarterback position.
Whatever this is.
I might even pour a little bit of mayonnaise in my coffee out of solidarity at the beginning. I'm not going to do that.
That makes my
Trust me, I'm not going to do that.
Oh, my God.
It's about a Will, powered by all 4 seasons on 104.5 The Zone.
Change is coming, and you need to be prepared. Hey, this is Ramon Foster. And did you know that new regulations are coming that could increase the price of replacing your old HVAC system by over 20%? That's why you need to act now and get the older system replaced by my friends at Spring Hill Heating and Cooling. They offer 18 months with no payments. You can lock in today's price and not have to pay until spring of 2024. Or you can get up to $1,500 off your new HVAC. Spring Hill Heating and Cooling is always backed by a 10-year parts and labor warranty on York products. Spring Hill Heating and Cooling is also a York certified comfort expert company. And if you're in need of repair work, they offer free service calls with their repairs, plus low monthly payments on those repairs. They are the heating and cooling company that can take care of all of your HVAC needs. Spring Hill Heating and Cooling, available anytime at springhillac.com.
Join 104.5 The Zone each Thursday at Buffalo Wild Wings for our Titans football feast. Stop by for your chance to win Titans tickets and giveaways each hour. Thanks to Miller Lite and Buffalo Wild Wings for a full schedule of events and locations. Find out the location for this week by going to 1045thezone.com.
Gentlemen, I'm ready to make a proclamation here at the end of Hour 3. It's Ramona Will, powered by all four seasons of 104.5 The Zone. Many are saying this is the most important announcement that will be made on this show today. Because 1 hour from now,
you ain't told me
Ramon Foster doesn't know what's coming. By the way, Ramona Will, powered by all four seasons. Will Bowling, Ramon Foster, Jonathan Schaefer with you. I am ready to say that if Will Levis is the number one pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, I will drink coffee with mayonnaise on the air live on this radio station.
Oh, my God.
I am officially a doubter.
Breaking sports news.
Thank you.
On 104.5 The Zone.
I will drink a cup of coffee with mayonnaise in it, like Will Levis does, the quarterback of the University of Kentucky.
Yeah, say it.
Say it.
Kentucky.
Say it.
Thank you.
I will drink coffee with mayonnaise in it if Will Levis is the number one overall pick in the 2023 NFL Draft. I am a hater and a doubter. I would like to go on the record. It's been under review. I texted people over the weekend and said, my praise of Will Levis is under further consideration. That consideration has ended, and I have made my decision, and I'm going to stick with it. I'm committing to the University of Doubting Will Levis. University. State University.
You know the beauty in Will making this bet, Shave?
He knows he's probably going to win the bet.
No, not even just that. Will, we don't even know if Will going to be on this show in a year.
Oh, that's true. No, well, that's what I'm saying is I will come into this studio. And that's why I said I will do it on the air.
That's a bold strategy, Cop.
I said I will do it on the air.
Hey, Shave, that's like saying, man, you know what? I bet you I can swim across the Atlantic.
I said I will do it on the air on this station. I never said it would be this show. That's why I said I don't know if I'm going to be on here.
Well, stop. That was a bold bet right there, Shane.
If it was 3 minutes in the future, I would yell the go to break thing, but we still have to. We can't pay the bills
That's
yet.
just like saying
Gotta live
JFK
here
is
a little
still
longer.
alive. Stop
I
it,
said
Will.
on the air. I said on the air. Anyway, I am on the. Look at my tweet. I never said on this show. I said I am on the record. I will drink coffee with mayo in it if Will Levis is the number one pick of the 2023 NFL Draft. Live on the air.
Oh,
goodness. Anyway. So,
comments in the chat. Damn, Ramon, savage. Laughing emojis. Violence. Nephew Selly. Pure violence. Lols. Timothy House says, LOL, Ramon. I hope so. Oh, no. LMFAO. I like Will.
Oh, there you go. I was going to say, you better include the ending.
Daniel L. The hazing is real today.
Really is.
Yeah, it is. Well, since nobody wants to tell me whatever the secret is, I guess I gotta shoot at somebody. Will you just on the other side of this mic right now,
That's
man?
Fine.
I'll drink coffee with mayo in it.
I will drink coffee with mayo in it on the air. I didn't say on the show. I might not grace your presence. I might not grace you with my presence. I might go to 3HL and say, hey, Ron, I want to give you some content. I'm not giving Ramon content.
He's looking for a fight.
I'll walk around from my digital studio as the digital executive producer of Digital Enterprises, in charge of sales, in charge of digital.
You see, either Ramon or Bus.
Weekdays from 6 to 10.
You think Savage,
that's a good name of a show, Ramon or Bus.
You think Savage gonna side with you? I'm going on 3HL. You know what they're gonna do? They're gonna put Joe Hunk on the mic, man.
Slay's my guy. I'd like to think we're friends. Slay and I are traveling to Baton Rouge together this weekend. We're gonna plan it then.
You know what you're there for? They go get Ron drinks.
Okay.
To make sure Ron don't get arrested.
All right.
Have fun.
Somebody had to go get the rental car.
To make sure Ron makes his flight on time.
I'm old enough to go get the rental car now, so that's why they sent me down there, just to appease me to finally rent a car for the first time.
This was about you, Will.
Boy,
man, no.
Anyway.
No.
Number one overall pick of the draft, if he is.
Good bet, though. Good bet.
If Will Levis is the number one overall pick in the draft, I'll drink coffee with mayonnaise in it.
On somebody's show.
I'll give you more details. I'll get one of the coffee cups the coffee cups
That was better than my coffee this
in
morning.
in the break room.
Yeah.
And do a 1 Mississippi of mayonnaise squirt out of a squirt bottle with coffee from the break room.
Ooh, okay,
God.
okay, I'm with it. What kind of mayo? Is it mayo or is it mayonnaise? A Miracle
Duke's
Whip?
mayo.
Duke's. Oh, that's kind of.
Oh, it's going to be Dukes. Okay.
Ooh, that's bold.
In honor
right
of
there,
the artist formerly known as the Duke's Mayo Bowl.
they say you're basically parental oversight.
May it
with-
R.I.P. in peace. Well, that's fine. It's not the first time. Not the last time.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with
I'm the
being
youngest
a
in my
chaperone.
family by 10 years, but
Are
you know,
you?
I'll still give parental oversight.
But you're the favorite in your family.
Of course.
Of course. Although we love to hang with your sister.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Okay, we love.
We're
to hang
all
with your
equally
sister.
loved. We are all equally
The
loved.
lies that your parents have told to you for years, Will. No.
About being equally loved? No, we're all equal. Come on.
No, the grandbaby just took somebody's spot.
Well, that's fair.
Your little nephew
That's
got
fair.
a
The
spot.
two little grandkids.
Who got pushed
running
out?
around?
Who got
Just
pushed
know,
out?
once the grandkids are born, everybody goes
Oh,
down.
yeah, everybody
a couple
drops down a
notches.
slot. That's right.
Nobody
As they
matters
should.
anymore.
As we should.
Absolutely not.
It's all right. Tough times.
Boy, I would love to see you drink this mayo coffee.
I was going to say, you're going to be a big Kentucky fan, though.
No,
This is the
no,
fa-
hell no. Y'all got me once with that. You're not
Schaefer,
getting me again.
do you have the recordings of Ramon saying,
Give me
I'm
mine.
riding with Kentucky? Oh, here we go.
Nope, I'm not.
Shut up, the Schaefer.
Never.
Comes in the other day and says, every single time you give credit to Kentucky, I record it.
I'm riding with Kentucky. See, that's why.
It's when you were in Pittsburgh.
That's why I chose Kentucky to win this weekend against my own better judgment.
You're going to be like, they're going to be playing like Adam State. You're going to be like, I'm riding with Adam State. Just so there's not recording of you
to
riding
myself,
with Kentucky.
I said, Mo, I hope both of them lose. I said that on air. Shafe didn't save that part, though. No. He saved the part that said I would root for.
And now your mic has been turned off. Oh, I love it. I love it. Jonathan Schaefer really is just acting a
Mess
fool
with the
this
Bulls,
morning.
you get
Man,
the
for real,
horn.
y'all gonna tell me what's the announcement? Like,
No,
legitimately.
you got to wait.
No.
I hate y'all, boy.
But
I'm about to.
I was hoping this was the announcement. I mean, I was just
When
me.
the Titans go on,
doing
on
this
bye, I'm going on bye too. That's because y'all keep me out of the loop on stuff. Blaming me for. Oh, you bless my heart.
I just did.
Blessing your heart.
We
man.
going to do about a 5-2 slow.
Should I get the mop or the bucket?
No.
Should I get the mop or the bucket?
No, Will. See, that's you wrong again. It's give me the bucket or the towel.
Oh, bucket or towel. That's all.
Do you not know how to waterboard somebody?
I really don't. I can't say that I do.
Me either.
Okay, perfect.
Well, you want to find out?
Maybe we'll find out when we come back. That is not a bet that I will make if Will Levis is the number one overall pick. No, not a bet that I would have made. 615-737-1045 if you want to jump in. Ron Slate coming up in hour number 4, plus an announcement that Ramon Foster is fighting us about. Fighting against, just to try to figure out if he can get it out of us. For the final segment of the show today. That's coming up within the hour. Hour number 4, 4's up, ladies and gentlemen. Whether you have mayonnaise in your coffee or not, we're going to continue with one more hour. 104.5 The Zone. Go to break!
9:01, good morning. I'm Jonathan Schaefer from the Superbook.com sports desk. Monday Night Football, the San Francisco 49ers wrote a sensational Deebo Samuel touchdown, also a pick six, to a 24-9 win over the Los Angeles Rams. The seventh straight win for the Niners over their divisional rival.
Stafford going to throw out right, intercepted and coming back the other way. Talanoa Hufanga, touchdown!
That was the pick six, in case you couldn't tell. Nick Bosa had 2 of San Francisco's 7 sacks against Matthew Stafford. Both teams now 2-2. After sweeping the Mets over the weekend, the Braves fell to the Marlins 4-0 yesterday. Meanwhile, the Nats-Mets game was rained out. That's forcing a doubleheader today. The Braves still have a game-and-a-half lead over the Mets in the NL East. Their magic number is 1 to clinch the division. For foundation repair and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and the Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Fourth and final hour, fourth quarter of the show on the Tuesday edition of Ramon and Will, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors on 104.5 The Zone. Alongside 11-year NFL veteran Ramon Foster, many say, not me, but many say that Jonathan Schaefer is
The best producer in the world.
and we're still trying to figure out who is saying that, but maybe we'll find out in hour 4 who thinks that besides Ron Slay, who joins us coming up in 15 minutes.
The best producer in the world.
He's going to probably say that a couple more times.
Ron and Ramon on that one.
Best mixer and producer in the world, okay?
That's true.
Both.
Mixing. He's like cooking or something?
Both.
No, the way he mixes things up, man. Come on, Will.
Like mixing in like a big pot?
It's one thing to be a
making like some
producer, but if
cookies?
he mixes it up, come on, man. Come on, dog.
I hate it here.
Have you ever not been to a cookout?
No, I've been to some cookouts.
You're not going to get invited to ours if you keep this up,
That's
okay?
tough.
We ended this last hour with you.
Where Robert
making
Ayers
a
was giving me the
proclamation.
invite. All the boys.
Anytime Rob
Black
gives you the
Rob gave him
invite.
an invite.
Let me tell you about Black Rob.
You were
okay?
texting. You told me like the first
Let me
week I've
tell
been
you
filling in
about-
here doing this. You were like, "Hey, you're cool with Rob." I was like, "Robert Ayers."
Tell you about Black Rob, okay? Black Rob used to show up to our apartments at Grand Forest, okay? Because we didn't trust him enough to give him a key to our house, okay?
no.
Me, Inky, and Sinclair Cannon stayed together. We come home from workout and classes. Sitting at the top of the apartment, outside of our steps, was Rob Ayers yelling as we got off the T train. Saying, "Hey, get y'all up here so I can get in this house and eat." I'm like, Rob, really?
So you live with Inky?
I live with
I never knew
Inky.
you were actually roommates with him.
Yeah, Inky was my next door roommate in camp
Okay.
at Gibbs. We were right next door to each other.
Man,
Ink
R.I.P.
been
and
locked tight
peace.
for a long time.
R.I.P. and peace to Gibbs.
Yeah, Gibbs. Boy, what
Gone
a
but
good
never
time.
forgotten.
Man, what a good time. And me and Inky got cool real early in college, man. Like, we stayed at Grand Forest for a little while, for a year and some change when we first were able to
Okay.
move off campus.
Yep.
And then we ended up moving to a house off campus too, where we all stayed together, man. That's my partner right there, Inky Johnson, man.
The bone that I've got to pick with you and you guys
What?
that went to UT at that point is the options that y'all had on Cumberland Avenue on the Strip
It was beautiful.
infinitely better than what they have now when I went there.
Well, see, I see Cumberland Strip now, and I think to myself, "Oh, this is phenomenal." You thought what we
it
had was
looks
better?
nicer because it's got like greenery around and like
Yeah,
little
yeah, they
shrubbery and all
beautified
that
it.
stuff. Shrubbery and but you
is
guys
that?
had a Buffalo Wild Wings, you had an
B-Dub.
O'Charlie's,
You want to hear something
you had
crazy?
a Chili's
Let me-
within walking distance.
You want to hear something crazy?
What?
I asked Ron this like last weekend.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know what Buffalo Wild Wings was
At that point,
at that point.
I feel like it was.
2004.
I'll give you that. It was kind of new at that point.
Well, even just then, it was a campus thing
felt
where it's like,
new.
what is it,
Yeah.
quarter wings on Tuesdays? That was
Oh,
a
I
thing
don't
right
know.
there.
It was gone by the
what
time I
was.
got there.
Quarter wings on Tuesday. It was even more wild with that, though, Will. And maybe this is just where I'm from. I'm from the country. I'm from Ripley, Tennessee. Henning, Tennessee is where I lived at home of Alex Haley. Lauderdale County, stand up, West Tennessee, best Tennessee.
Whoa,
Just going to throw that out
okay.
there real quick.
Easy.
I'm from the country, right? So anytime we had chicken, look, it was a drum, a thigh, a wing, like it was a whole wing.
Always got
like
the bone
a
in it.
breast. Yeah, with a bone in it.
Yeah.
We weren't privy to like ordering wings, like at all. So for me to be like, why is everybody? What is BW? Like, what's BWW? Like, what are y'all talking about? Like, they call it B-dubs, or like,
Yeah, right.
What are we talking about here? And like, going into B-dubs wasn't the thing. Like, ordering wings for me wasn't a thing in my little hometown of Ripley/Henning, Tennessee. I got into wings in college. When did you start eating wings? Yeah, it wasn't a thing for us.
No, well,
you got to get the whole chicken is what you get.
I'll tell you, the Knoxville place that got me into wings was Sawyer's.
Sawyer's
chicken tenders.
Fucking was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. I love Sawyer's. That was good.
Sawyer's was really good. Sawyer's was my favorite, definitely my favorite chicken, and they had like the hottest sauce ever.
Yeah, what was?
Sawyer's had like the hottest hot sauce ever.
Well, they had the best sauce, period, too. Yeah, it was really good. I love Sawyer's, man.
Yeah.
Sawyer's, McAllister's. McAllister's was also really good. So I experienced that on campus too.
Right.
So it was a lot of places I experienced coming from a small town that was eye-opening to me. That's why I think I loved like UT so much too. Was because like it really exposed me to a lot of stuff.
Well, you got the small town feel and the city feel depending on what you wanted.
Yeah.
Like you could go out in the country and go to Cruise Farm, which is I think new now. Oh no, I think it's been there. It's just like that's the place to go.
Yeah.
Is Cruise Farm for like ice cream, and then you go out on the farm, way out. I think in North Knoxville.
Where?
I want to say Cruise Farm.
Cruise Farm.
You never had Cruise Farm?
I never had Cruise Farm.
So it's the ice cream place downtown on Gay Street in Knoxville.
Oh,
but they also have a pizza barn out in the country, like 25-minute drive away from campus. So Barstool Sports was at the Tennessee-Florida game over the weekend, 2 weekends ago. And they did like their pizza review at Cruise Farm, and it got like a 9.5 for their ice cream. They've got like old school custard. Like everybody's wearing like checkered aprons, and like it's like old school.
Yeah.
Old school.
What was it? The Chandler's was a soul food spot.
Oh, Chandler's Soul Food, man.
You went to Chandler's?
Oh yeah.
Okay, no.
They would cater that for our home track meet every year because I still announce the home track meets in Tennessee in Tom Black track, and they will always cater the Chandlers, I think, on every Friday of that meet. It's like a 3-day track meet.
Yeah.
And they would bring Chandlers in for everyone for one day of the meet every single year.
That was the Japanese spot on the campus, too, that's still there, Hibachi.
Hibachi Factory?
Yes, Hibachi Factory.
Yeah, so literally the things that are still there from when I was there and you were there were literally Cool Beans.
Cool Beans, yep.
Hibachi Factory and Half Barrel.
Yeah.
And Copper Cellar. That's literally it. It's those four.
What was a place that was a pizza spot that had like the sweet crust that was like on campus?
Oh, Stefano's?
Stefano's
is still there too. I think
it's on the corner right next to Rocky Top Market, ain't it? Yeah, okay.
Yep.
But I enjoyed what
But now you've got Studio X and you've got like Uptown, like what Buffalo Wild Wings is now like the freshman bars that everyone gets into.
There's freshman bars?
Yeah.
It's
not supposed to be.
I encourage anybody, go away from home to go to college. Like legitimately, like it taught me a lot. I went to campus. My mom gave me my care package to go there and everything. And lo and behold, man, I found out who Ramon Foster was in a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
Like it was, I enjoyed what college did. I don't care if a person really drops out. I don't. But just go see it. Figure it out, get into some struggle, man. And this is the best thing, too, about going to college. It delays adulting. Like, that was the biggest thing for me. It was like, man, I ain't got to pay no bills other than my phone getting cut off every month because I'm texting too much. But other than that, man, go do that. I thought it was pretty cool.
It was the perfect distance away from Nashville for me. Far enough away to still feel like you're home and you're not, a different world apart, but still far enough to be doing your own thing a little bit.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, no doubt.
Monday Night Football last night, 49ers get their 7th consecutive win in the regular season over the Los Angeles Rams. Niners defense sacked Matthew Stafford 7 times in this game. Fourth quarter pick 6 for Stafford. He's thrown a lot of pick 6s in his career. He has. Like statistically.
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford is among the most pick 6s of all time. In fact, Matthew Stafford threw his 28th career pick 6 last night, tying him with Hall of Famer Joe Namath for the 3rd most thrown by any player since 1950. It was also the 2nd straight week where Matthew Stafford did not throw a touchdown pass, the first time he's done so in consecutive weeks since week 15 and 16 in 2016. And I, of course, like an idiot, not only bet on the Rams, but bet on a Cooper Kupp touchdown because he had a touchdown in 12 of the last 13 games.
So riddle me this. The reason the Rams won the Super Bowl last year, Aaron Donald and possibly OBJ
And Von Miller.
Two
of those three aren't there. And OBJ, by the way, reportedly visiting his former team, the New York Giants, yesterday.
So, okay. So, I guess this is a bigger offseason conversation, depending on what the Rams look like. It might be an in-season conversation. So, what is Matthew Stafford then? Just a sure guy? Everybody brags on him, and I'm with it. Like, from Goff, do you think Goff could have made that Super Bowl run last year? No,
I don't.
Because of the type of accuracy that he has?
I think a big difference right now is the big money move they made at the wide receiver position, and Allen Robinson has not paid off. Because ultimately, the money, you still got to follow the money as far as your free agent moves, especially, Ramon, when you send away all of your draft picks. And you invest so heavily in Jalen Ramsey with early round selections, and you invest in Von Miller with the early round picks, and you make those moves, and you market yourself as we don't care about these picks, paraphrasing.
Right.
Then it makes it that much more important that you not only hit with the trades that you make and you get value back for the selections you're giving up, but then you've got to have that much more value in the picks that you do make and in the free agent signings that you make. And Allen Robinson has not been that guy. I saw somebody on Twitter yesterday say, getting rid of Robert Woods for Allen Robinson looks like one of the worst moves at the offseason for anyone.
I was shocked that the Titans were able to trade for him.
Yeah.
Like, there wasn't any way I would have saw that being the case, other than the fact that they were going for a younger, I guess, more rangy type of guy.
Robert Woods is the quintessential wide receiver, too.
Right.
He blocks. He can play anywhere in the field. He's versatile. And behind Cooper Kupp, really, not even behind Cooper Kupp, like those were just different styles of players. Cooper Kupp is your number one wide receiver that's either outside or inside. Robert Woods, kind of the same thing. Yeah. But obviously he's the secondary starter for that team a year ago winning the Super Bowl. But I think he is the quintessential wide receiver too. Allen Robinson is not a quintessential second wideout.
Yeah.
He's used to being the guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I give you that, too. Another very interesting thing, too, about this Rams makeup and who they are, too, is they paid a lot of money for a lot of guys to come back. Didn't Stafford get a raise this offseason?
I think so.
Cooper Kupp got a raise. Jalen just got one. And
he's just making a ton.
And the reason I brought this up was because the conversation that Aaron Donald had. He's speaking of the fact that he wanted to retire. And I'm like, did you really?
It's interesting, too, and they doubled down on that story last night and said that he's been telling everyone that after 8 years, I'm out. I'm playing 8 years, and I'm done. And he did, and then he won the Super Bowl, and that encouraged him to come back and do it again. Typically, it's the opposite, right?
Right.
Like,
to end
you win the Super Bowl, you're out.
Also, $95 million guaranteed to do it.
It's not bad. I do a lot of things for $95 million guaranteed.
Heck, you're drinking mayonnaise for free.
I know. For Will Levis.
Hey, look, I don't come in this building for free, Schaefer. What are we doing? I'm not volunteering. I'm a Tennessee volunteer, but I'm not volunteering here. I mean, come on. What are we doing?
That $5 an hour is working out pretty good, ain't it?
Honestly, not bad. It's not bad. Rookie deal. Coming up next, we continue the conversation.
It's all Skittles and beer.
You hate me so much. We continue the conversation with Ron Slay, 3HL Zone. And look, any conversation with Slay is always electric. A conversation where Slay can take a victory lap over something that he has correctly predicted is one of the more electric variations of Ron Slay.
Yeah, I heard it yesterday.
And Ron Slay, first time in studio that he will be able to scream about how he's right about Matt Ryan. Nathaniel, as I guess he's calling him.
That's his name. Nathaniel.
That's his name.
That's a good one.
Plus, what we're going to get into this weekend in Baton Rouge, maybe he'll tell me. He'll tell me what he needs from me, since my job is to chauffeur Ron Slay around. Plus an announcement at 9:45. Maybe Ramon will figure out what it is between now and then. It's 104.5 The Zone. The sounds of one Ronald Sylvester Slay coming up in just a minute on 104.5 The Zone. It is Ramon and Will, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors. Will Bowling, Ramon Foster, and Jonathan Schaefer with you. This is my favorite musical styling of Jonathan Schaefer here. What is the song called?
He mixed this.
Yeah, he did.
You see?
Not just food.
Best producer.
Come
and
on,
mixer
ride
in
it,
the
Quad
world.
City DJs.
There you
Quad
go.
City DJs, man. You never did this dance at a party?
Never did.
He was born yesterday, Moan.
I mean, this
doesn't
is
remember this song.
well, Swag Surfing is older than him, too.
You merely adopted the darkness.
Really
Can I make a
adopted
statement about swag surfing?
Can you?
I'm
Can
ready for
you?
it to die.
Are you serious?
Yep.
I wish you would say
You know
something
why?
like that. I wish
You know
even
why?
on you. Why?
Because it was an Auburn thing, and everyone copied Auburn.
Stop.
I'm serious.
Why do you hate fun?
Like,
I don't know.
legitimately hates fun. You're too young to be like this, man. Who raised you?
I
Because
just
the
don't-
damn show won Papa Bowl.
I don't think it has caught on the way every team thinks it does. They just saw Auburn do it a couple times. They're like,
No.
everyone has to do this.
Will.
Like, they've been doing it for 6 years now. Like, I'm ready for it to die.
Yes, there's a portion of your brain in your mouth that always uses itself, and it embarrasses it, okay? It embarrasses you. Shafe, go ahead. Hit him with it one time, man.
Every time I hear, man, I got this one, I'm just like,
The hell
here
was
we go.
that?
That's what the song sounds like.
Boy.
You know what else everybody's doing?
What? Yeah!
This makes me nervous because the Braves still have not clinched the NL East.
What are you saying? I can't hear you.
Can't hear you well. Shut your mouth.
The catcher, William Contreras.
Well, do you not enjoy good times in life?
I enjoy this a lot. This is great.
No.
It's fantastic.
Well, I swear to you, if you crap on Swag
Man,
Surfing
no,
again, no,
it's
shut it.
it's just
Right,
overplayed.
Shake, cut his mic real quick.
It's overplayed.
Real quick. What I'm telling you is this, Will. Swag Surf was a thing way before Auburn ever did it, okay? And the club, yeah, your mic shut off.
I know.
Exactly. Yeah.
He told me to shut your mic off.
I did ask you to shut it off. I don't tell you do anything, Shafe. I asked you, okay? Now, what I'm telling you is this. We were swag surfing in the clubs long before Auburn ever thought about doing it. No. When that song comes on, there are kids in middle school. Why do I know this? Because I got a kid in middle school right now, okay? When they played that drop, man, I got this just automatically. You stop what you're doing, Will, and you rock side to side, real slow like this, okay? And it's a group effort. If we can play Sweet Caroline, okay, or that Caroline song in stadium, you damn sure better believe
don't like that one either.
we can play Swag Surfing, okay? Do you want to? It gets the people going.
I know it does.
Except for you. Yeah. Why are you this way today?
I feel like it's.
I can't wait till Savage
played.
coming here.
I feel like it's played out.
What did he say?
This way today.
Will, it's played out?
Yeah.
No.
At games to get student
No.
sections hype, I think it's played out.
This is like Welcome to the Jungle. Come on, man. Are you serious? If it's played out, Phil Collins is played out then. Yeah, exactly. Some things you can't get rid
Phil
of
Collins
like this
isn't
song,
played
okay?
in every single game.
Ain't trying to hear it right now, Will. You can keep that, okay, in a box, okay? You lock it and you throw it in the
I'm
middle
really
of the ocean.
surprised
You're
you got
going
this
to the Gulf
aggressive
right
about
now
this.
because you crapped on Swag Surfing.
Talk slower today,
back
Mo.
in.
No, because he got me riled up right now.
I understand, but talk
you
slower.
can't do this, Will. You can't take this from us.
I'm not taking
It's
it from
been
you.
going
Like, I know
on
it's not
since-
gonna be-
When did this
it's not
song
gonna
come out?
change.
This song came out in 2006, if I'm not mistaken.
Swag
And Will,
surfing?
from the beginning of this song to the end of it right now, it's not even the end. This will continue on the same way Phil Collins does on game day.
Swag surfing came out in 2009.
09? Well, guess what?
I thought it
Will?
was older than that.
It is older than that. I think that's when it was officially released because we were in the clubs rocking side to side to this, okay? Get it together, young sir. I'm
mean,
over
it's not
it.
that I dislike the
I'm over
song.
it.
I just think
you
it's
just
played
said
out. Because Ramon, there are not many songs that I want played at every single game for 6
Well,
years.
this is it.
Because that, okay.
This is
Okay.
it. You
All right.
want this song played.
Anyway.
You love seeing that crowd rock side to side with
That's
that
it.
one,
I mean,
okay?
it looks cool. Looks cool. Anyway,
Shafe.
the fact that, by the
Where's
way,
the bucket?
by the way, Missouri had a chance against Georgia because they played Narcos on every third down. Did you hear that
I heard
over the
it.
weekend?
Yeah, they overdid it.
They
They did overdo that. Okay,
Thank
and
you.
it's the fact that it's Missouri
Thank
and
you.
not us. But the fact that you said this song was played out, dude,
There it is.
yes,
Every time I
that's
hear
it.
this, I'm just like, here we go.
Man, just like that, Will. So you never caught the rhythm of this.
I did,
It's slow,
but I did 5 years ago.
and then it's
I
slow,
got tired of it.
and then
I don't know.
I see. Even Shafe was back
It's a
behind
good
the
song.
glass,
It's
rocking
a good
side
song.
to side.
Yeah, like it just gets people going, but it's been
but you
getting
don't
the
want to
people
get the
going
people
for
going.
6 straight years every single week.
The recruits loved it this past week.
KB
I'm
from
sure they
Arkansas.
did.
Will definitely hates fun.
Yeah,
Yeah, he does.
big, not a fun guy.
Yeah, how you this young and hate fun?
I don't know. It's really hard to say.
Angry
tough
young
life.
angry young man. You, sir. You're like Smeagol right now.
Honestly, the problem is too that I
Precious.
when I went to Tennessee was losing in a lot of games in the fourth quarter, and they would try to play that down by 21 points, and it just wasn't it.
Well, why do you go to games?
Why do I go to games?
Yes.
I mean, I don't know. I have been since I was
You
not
go to
even a
games
year
that-
old.
It's a great environment. During the
It
pandemic.
wasn't a great environment in the fourth quarter when
during the
Alabama's up
pandemic,
28 doing third down for what?
It was people like you. Well, that's kind of play. That's why we said earlier you got to play that in
Yeah, it's
spots.
played out. It's the same
Okay,
thing.
No.
Gotta be
Will.
picky and choosy.
But when Shafe played it, you were super excited about it. Were you not? Oh, I love this song. It takes me back. Now, what I'm telling you is this. During the pandemic, there was times when people wish they could be in stadiums, okay?
Yeah.
And now we're at a point to where Sterl the Pearl plays swag surfing, and it gets the crowd going. We're touching side to side, okay? We're swagging back and forth. And here you are trying to take this away from us.
Jaron on the chat. Ramon, you need to help Will not be bland.
You see what I'm saying?
No.
He needs some seasoning
The
salt.
problem is that this is not a bland take. This is actually
need
like
some
one
garlic,
of my hotter takes.
a little bit of salt and pepper.
So which one do you want? If you want one to be bland, I'll say, oh, I love that song they play every
No,
week of
never
every
do
year
that
for the
voice
past
ever.
5
Please
years.
don't do that.
Don't do
voice
that
again.
voice.
I can be bland.
Don't do it.
No.
I can bring in Raisin Brand every
You're a
day
wet
when I come
blanket
in.
right now. You're a wet blanket right now.
I
And
hear the
here
sounds
comes
of
the
Ron
show.
Slay coming in the
See?
studio. There
Man,
he is.
I got that swag.
There he is.
Hold on, Sam.
This is not gonna go well for me.
He's going straight to
This
the
is
chair.
not.
This is not
There's no
gonna go-
fist bumps. There's no. This is not going to
You
go.
don't get the fist
This is
bump
not going to
no
go
more.
well for me.
You don't get this anymore, Will.
Here it comes.
You're trying to take stuff away from us. Who are you right now?
Why are you
This is
holding
not
down
going to
black
go
people?
well for
I
me.
know.
No,
I know,
okay,
I know
easy.
midterms are coming up. Okay? But
Midterms.
don't take this from us.
Hello, Ron.
Savage,
Slay.
am I good?
Yeah, you are.
You're
You
good. You're
real
on.
clear right
Savage,
now.
what's happening?
How are you this morning?
I'm cool, my brother.
First and foremost, they keep me out of secrets.
Yeah, I mean.
Okay?
Yeah.
And then he want to take this from me?
I've been hearing that and seeing that.
Here it comes.
Savage,
You
how
smell
you
Give it
doing,
to
my
good,
me.
by the way.
Give it to
The
me.
best producer in the world.
There he
It's
is.
only one. You know what I mean? Let me say that first and foremost. Hey, man, let me tell you something, man.
Hello. How are you?
Hey, man, see, you are the type, Will,
Give it to him, Savage.
that come to the barbecue with raisins and a potato salad.
Sure.
See, this the problem right here, Will.
Not a potato
For
salad
you,
guy.
I don't even care, Will. There ain't no comeback for this.
So ain't.
Boy, for you to get on here and say it's worn out, William? What?
Yeah, you will.
I'm sorry.
Hey, man, I got a whole bunch of partners down there in Baton Rouge. You know I'm a little boosted to the core.
Yeah, you are.
Now, I
No,
would have
that-
the
I
boys
am
out
okay
there
with
waiting
that.
in the boot, man, to go on and drag you all the way down there across MLK and let you get some soul in your body, Will. Don't
Yeah.
you ever say that, man.
Trust
this
me, when
is
I-
bigger than, and then you said Auburn.
Come on.
Boy,
Auburn.
this is the culture.
Come on.
This ain't got nothing to do with no Auburn or
Preach.
race that. I ain't got nothing to, man, what is you talking about, William Lee? Hey, you lost your daddy is rolling over at his job right now.
Right now.
My dad actually
Bubba
just texted me
Bowling,
and said he agreed with me, so that's
Bubba
kinda tough.
Bowling is telling you, William, shut up. Enough is enough. You done lost your rabbit mind in
I'm
here.
talking about all of it.
Swag, sir, boy, when the beat come on, boy, you just grab the person next to you and grab the other person next to you, and you just sway.
Just
and
side
if you
to
don't know what to
side.
do, you need to step on outside.
Man, I've seen
boy-
grandmamas do this.
What? Hey, man, I'm
That's
trying
what
to
we
take him
want.
now.
Church of Slay.
I'm
Come
trying
on.
to take him now.
Pass the
Listen,
plate.
listen, hey, man.
Pass the plate.
Listen, man, I'm telling the boy, man, hey, man, you don't do that, Will. There's some things you don't do, man. You don't come to the barbecue and then try to go and sneak out with your plate.
No.
You wait till everybody done ate,
All,
boy.
all I'm bringing is
And
ice.
then,
Don't worry.
Will, you don't come in there with no plate to go.
So
You get a
don't.
plate and you put aluminum foil over
So
the top. I got to take you somewhere,
Slay.
Will, because you ain't been there.
Tabernacle.
When
I'm
I
trying to
picked you
tell the
up,
man,
when I picked you
Savage,
up from the
what's
airport,
wrong with this man?
I don't know right now.
I can't believe
I don't know. First,
you did a great comparison. We can play Sweet Caroline, by doggone it. We can play
I don't like that either.
I don't care what you like, Will. Matter of fact, I don't care what you like no more.
No more.
You need to go to games with headphones.
You know what? Here he is now, Savage. He got to go sit at the kids' table.
You damn right he do.
He got to sit at the kids' table.
We're gonna take him all the way back to the seats, to the tables that incline like this, and then you got to push them down in the middle.
Do.
They already got the stools connected to him. That's the table he got to sit
That's
at.
the table. He can't beatbox on our table no more. You don't get an extra milk. You can't speak to the lunch lady no more, Will. You know what? You bring your celery, okay, and you bring your cream cheese to lunch. You can't eat with us no more.
What? Hey, man, I was driving, man. I almost ran into the back of that car, man, on the interstate. I was in that white Ford Explorer. I want to apologize.
Ooh.
I couldn't get up fast enough.
I know.
I know.
By the way, raisins in the potato salad really is the worst.
Oh, that's terrible.
That was
person
Will.
is never allowed to come.
That was Will.
I've actually never done that before.
I don't care about the flavor profile, sweet and salty and savory. No. How dare you?
What?
How the swag service is related to Auburn?
It said Auburn what? What?
Anything else?
Have we ever cared about Auburn?
No.
Oh, I know that.
And then he over here betting on Will Levis at that.
I heard that too.
I feel like you'd be on my side on that one.
I
But
feel
then,
like
you
I
know
would.
what? We don't even care about Kentucky, though, okay?
You're not on my side on that one?
No, sir. Will,
Is there anything you are on my side about?
I am
today?
disgusted at you,
Is
Will.
there anything you're on my side about?
I want Papa Ball and get you some new headphones made so you can keep them on year round.
I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this with that little hot take he had a second ago. I bet he won't go up to Sterling Pearl while he's dripping sweat.
I dare him.
Getting that,
I dare him.
Getting that student section together.
I dare him.
And tell, hey, Sterling, I'd rather you not play swag surf.
He'll be like Quentin Nelson was when Jeff Simmons was trying to get the Matt Ryan out there with them little cinder blocks on his feet. That's how he'll be. Yeah, just bent over backwards because Sterling don't play that.
No, he
come on, man.
Chris on Twitter says 1045 The Zone has become a total Shiano show. Oh, and that swag song sucks.
Yeah,
you know what?
That's probably your partner. You probably text.
Yeah,
No, this guy's got a blue check mark.
See, first and foremost, you ran.
That makes it worse.
That makes it worse.
That does make it worse.
Whoever Chris is, he don't like nice things. I got to call my folks at Twitter and tell him take that blue check mark away.
Okay. I don't even have. Well, okay.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have one. And now we
I'm
know
not
why.
that guy.
He probably like the Colts.
Golly.
Whoever he is.
What is wrong
Slay,
with
That's probably Quentin Spain manager.
Slay, I hope we can
what it
mend this relationship before our trip to Baton Rouge on
You just
Friday.
be there to pick me up, Will.
I'll be picking you up. I'll be playing Wipe It Down by Boozy when I pick
First
you
of all,
up.
it's not
It's
it
not
ain't got no
Boozy.
Z's in his name.
Only in the
Boozy.
AZZ part.
Boozy.
Boosie.
Okay.
Boosie. It's not Bootsy Collins. Boosie.
William, I can't even open my eyes.
We really tried to do a show today. We really did. And we'll drop that nugget that just really. Do we put him in
This
the
is
trunk?
the angriest Ron Slay has ever been at me.
Because you ruined it.
That was.
You ruined it. You ruined it.
Like I'm getting to the
ruined
point where like this is a bit, and I'm actually worried that Ron Slay doesn't like me anymore.
William,
A little bit.
I just need redemption. And don't try to get
Oh,
redemption.
no.
Just
Slay,
leave-
don't we all?
Anyway,
Lord, have mercy.
Well,
Word to you.
Who?
coming up next,
Who doesn't like swag, sir?
What?
we're gonna take an early break. We're gonna let Ron Slay hang around for an
I
announcement.
don't even know if he wants to.
Man, no. He might play swag surf and make
I'm
me
long
go
enough
out
of
here.
my life
Yeah.
right now.
So many people. He read one comment that was in his
Yeah,
favor.
I know.
I
It's
did.
You know how
I really
many
did.
are in our favor right now?
Man, we ought to
All
go
of
over there and get Sleazy. Let Sleazy come turn his mic on and go to, because you know Sleazy a comedian.
It's all right.
Oh, boy, you talking about clowning.
Yeah, you would. We're gonna take a break and come back with some
Almost threw
news.
my phone.
Some breaking news on
How come y'all
1045 The
still ain't
Zone
told me?
on this radio station. Big news coming up next. It is Ramon and Will, powered by all four seasons of 1045 The Zone.
Blah, blah,
For
blah.
now.
One final segment of the show today, Ramona Will, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors on 104.5 The Zone. I'm getting just roasted for saying that this song is played out a little bit at sporting events. It's okay, though. Will Bowling, Ramon Foster, Ron Slay hanging out with us this morning.
You probably
Jonathan
one of the
Schaefer
ones that be
making the
going
show
real
happen.
fast, Will.
I'm on hypnotic.
Hey, whoa,
my body.
hey, yo, hey.
Guess what?
I'm swagging. I'm surfing. I'm swagging. I'm surfing. Hey. See, dog, this is just like playing the Cupid Shuffle at weddings and stuff, dog. You got to, and they, guess what? They're going to play this at the wedding.
You know how many drinks I wasted swag surfing on people?
See.
It's all right.
One guy keeps getting the chocolate in the back.
You guys want to make an announcement?
Give me a little bit right there. Let me get a little bit.
Do I got an announcement?
Did somebody do except for me?
I ain't even got no announcement. I just got here.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ron Slate hanging out with us for some news here on the station.
Let's rock it, Will.
There's a new sound on mornings on 104.5 The Zone, and starting tomorrow morning at 6 a.m., it will sound like this.
Let's go.
Covering the sports and teams you care about all through your morning. Ramon Foster.
Oh, he's so cool.
Kayla Anderson.
This is a team.
And Will Bowling.
I am the danger.
Ramon, Kayla, and Will on 104.5 The Zone.
Hey.
New on 104.5 The Zone starting tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. It's official. Ramon, Kayla, and Will on 104.5 The Zone. We are proud to welcome Kayla Anderson officially to the team. Our newest teammate.
All right.
She will be joining me permanently now, officially, as 1/3. She's
Daddy.
another third. Ramon Foster.
Yeah.
That is the show. Weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m. on 104.5 The Zone.
Hey, welcome to the group, Kayla.
Thank you.
Everybody eats, B.
Everybody eats, B.
Love it, man. Will, officially, welcome to the party, man.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely, man.
This is a cool moment for me. It's a cool moment for all of us. I've listened to this station as long as I can remember listening to the radio. Some of my favorite memories growing up are driving to school with my dad, and we would tune into this show, tune into mornings on the station, and it was a part of our routine. It always has been. Anyone who knows me knows that this has been the dream for me. God has blessed me with a tremendous support staff of friends, of family, of mentors, my family, and the people around me. You guys have been so good to me ever since I came here right out of school in 2019. This is a product of God's grace, of the love that I've been shown by people around me. I'm a product of my support system, and I want to thank you guys for being a part of that support system and helping me grow into this chair. But guys, I could not be more excited. Jonathan Schaefer has been a mentor to me ever since I stepped, foot in this building in 2019. I can't wait to hear from Kayla. We're going to be on 3HL later today, all three of us. But it is official. It is here, and it starts tomorrow morning. And guys, just thank you. I can't wait.
Welcome, Will. Welcome, Kayla. I'm hoping she's listening right now. We'll be on 3HL this evening.
Yeah, y'all slide on in, man.
You can't wait to slide on in 3HL. It's gonna be a party. If you wrecked our show, we're gonna wreck yours too. I can't wait.
It's on the right, man. We got enough mics in here.
Yeah,
you know what
absolutely.
I mean? Got enough mics.
Let me just say real quick, Will, man, you've been a true pro. For a young guy, I give you a lot of crap about that, but you got a lot of experience. You got a lot of knowledge, man. You come ready to go. You bring a lot to the show outside of what's on the mic, too, man. I tell people all the time, your knowledge as far as this game, this city, this state, and general college sports, NFL, too, is high. Your growth, like you said, man, has been fostering itself for a very long time. I'm looking forward to what Kayla's going to bring to this. I know she brings a lot. She's done TV. She's been all across this nation as far as doing work there. Her experience speaks for herself. Her work speaks for herself, too. This is an opportunity for her to branch out, become this city, become us. This group, hey, we can go. Let's take it, man. Everybody works. Everybody do their job. Everybody come ready to go because nobody cares about your problems. They just want that baby delivered every single day when we step in these seats. Savage, you do that.
Hey, man.
So I'm excited. This will be fun, Will. Again, motto is everybody eats, B.
That's right.
And as long as that's the motto, man, that's what it is. So salute to you, Will, man. Savage got new partners in crime. You know what I mean? Kayla, welcome. We'll welcome you all more on 3HL later on. Man, I got to give a big shout out, man, to the one and only, man. The best producer in the world.
That's right.
Man, that mix right there was cold-blooded, man. Hey, dog.
Shafe,
that was cold-blooded. That makes me want to listen in the morning,
Shafe, drop that one more
That's
time,
what we got
man.
for you.
That was dope, man.
He sent it yesterday.
Yeah.
And by the way, I said all that without Shafe. Like, Shafe, he's been my mentor.
Yeah,
he's been my guy. He is the safari guy you need when you're around lions.
Yeah.
And I'm learning this business.
Yeah.
It's full of lions. And guess what we are? We lions too, and we eat. But Shafe sent that. I was like, first and foremost,
dope.
I wasn't sure on the song. But the way I call him the best mixer, you call him the best producer. Now you see why, Will.
Yeah.
Like that drop.
It's
Shafe.
true.
Uno más, if we can. All right.
The show goes on mornings.
That's it. That's
From
it
6
right
to
there.
10.
That's your morning wake
Hey,
up.
that's perfect placement right there. Hey, all right, Shafe. Okay, all right.
And the song is perfect too because even after games, win and losses.
You know what I mean? The game goes on,
Game
man.
goes
You know what I
on,
mean?
baby.
Hey,
Sure does.
This is a product of it, man. Salute, Will. Congratulations, man.
They
Keep
booing
pushing.
Shafe. In the chat, they booing Shafe.
You can't give him too much love, man.
Go
They know how
ahead,
it is.
Shafe.
baby,
Because I
so-
don't want this thing pulled off of YouTube.
Yeah, we would like
speak on it.
to
Come on,
keep the
Shafe.
archive of this broadcast that is not going to be hit with a
It's going to be on the podcast. Go check it out there.
Hey, man, it's going to be fun, man. Great to have y'all as teammates, man. Hey, let's roll, baby.
I'll tell you
Let's
one
roll.
thing that I think we all have in common, and the three of us and Kayla as well, and anyone that's on this station. But we are Nashville people,
Yeah.
right? Yes.
Now.
No. And what I'm saying is that, I think the love that we have just for this place and this city and this community, made up of people, like me and Slay that have grown up here and have called this place home, and then the people that have moved here as this city has grown, who have equal parts of the ownership of what Nashville is and what Music City, USA has become. I like to think I'm equal parts old Nashville and new Nashville. I know the city before there was the pedestrian bridge to go to Titans games and playing Laser Quest on 2nd Avenue. And, I'm not that old, but I've grown up in this city and I love it and I love what it was, but I love what it is. And I assure you, I'm going to be able to relate with you guys, whether you are new here and you've called this place home over the last couple of years, whether you're like me and you've called it home your entire life. There's going to be something for everybody. We're going to bring it 4 hours a day, guys.
Yeah.
And that is what we can promise you, is that the only thing we can control is the energy that we bring for 4 hours a day.
Facts.
And if you're dragging at 6 a.m. in the morning and you're getting up and whatever your commute is, we're going to give you the energy that you need to get through, whether your commute's an hour or 20 minutes or less than that, or you're working from home. So, guys, I'm excited, and just thank you guys both for being friends to me and 4 hours a day.
And here go the outro
Here it
for
is.
us.
And this is the outro right here.
I'm really hot at y'all.
Savage. Get on Joe, man.
Slay's
really
like, hey,
slick
Joe.
I'm slick hating a
That's
little
on
bit.
my demo.
Slay, thank you.
Did you boys not
That was a riot for about the 10 minutes you were with us, but we will see you later today
Yeah,
on
most
3HL.
definitely, man. Can't wait till y'all get there, baby.
It's gonna be a
Ramon,
party, man.
Kayla, and Will. Weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m. on 104.5 The Zone. Starting tomorrow morning. We will see you tomorrow morning as the show goes on for the first time on 104.5 The Zone. And Ramon Foster with a word for the people on the way out before a new era begins tomorrow at 6 a.m.
Remember, your Twitter fingers and your mic always hot.